I don't really have an intro in mind for any clever way to open this episode. Anything funny to say? Anything interesting to say? So I guess we're here.
Back in the day, when we first started our first few episodes, I forgot that you guys could hear me after the edit. And I would mute our FaceTime calls and let out the nastiest, wettest farts. And then I'd forget. I'd be like, oh, shit.
Why'd you have to put wet in there?
Can we redo the intro?
I was being descriptive.
Can we redo the intro, please?
I'm being real.
That's all.
Okay,
We're human.
Anyways, we are here.
I'm going to let one out, too. Evacuate this entire bitch.
Okay.
I guess.
We're back. We're in person. Welcome to the NBA All-Star Break episode.
Unfortunately in person.
Finna blow it up.
The trade deadline is officially behind us. Every NBA team is set in stone for what they're going to be for the remainder of this season into the playoff run. We have an idea of what each team will look like at their best in a playoff setting. Mm-hmm. So naturally, it's about that time for us to do part 2 of our power rankings for the 2024-2025 NBA season. This one's especially fun because with it being post-deadline, we've seen exactly 2 games of Jimmy Butler on the Warriors, exactly 1 game of Luka Doncic on the Lakers. So every time we do a power ranking, I'm always like, don't project. It's who's good right now. This time we got to project. That's the whole point, I think, post-deadline.
This is 100% imagination. Because even after the 20 games, we are going, a lot of times, like, that one is the most, like, I'm going based off of exactly what I have seen in these 20 games. I'm going off of all the evidence. And now it's like, hey, maybe it's a fresh start. Who knows? They might turn it around, and you could just say whatever.
Yep.
So, like,
yeah, okay, so
be surprised.
The first power ranking of the season. The first power ranking of the season is 20 games of the season. It's concrete. We're only gauging what we've seen this season, giving credit where it's due. The second one's post-deadline. We're doing a little bit of projection, what we expect to see with these new look teams. And then we're going to do one more before the playoffs start where we're here now. The playoffs are starting. These are the best teams. So kind of cool. We kind of have like a slightly different variation of each list.
Yeah.
I would be continuously getting fried whenever we would do power rankings. And I had a very important meeting that you guys didn't know about with the Crown Eaters.
Okay.
It happened a couple weeks ago. After the original power rankings were posted, and they let me know that I was doing power rankings wrong the entire time, but they also let me know too that today's power ranking would probably be my bag because it's what I love to do, which is projection.
Yeah. You definitely don't know how to do power rankings. You know how to do like future rankings, but
past tense didn't.
All right. Well, here's the thing. Today, part of this is projection.
Yeah.
Part of it, we still have to account for what teams are right now. I have a feeling that line will still be stepped over, but we'll see. Let's get into it.
The cranium is crazy. Oh my god.
I mean, I really don't know what to say.
Crayon eaters, rejoice.
You guys know how this works. We're going to go section by section to reveal our top 30 players. We're going to start with the bottom 5 teams, then the next section of 5, all the way until we reveal the top 30. Yeah, man, let's do it. The bottom feeders. Every time we do a ranking of any sort, we end up spending a lot of time on the first 2 tiers because that's where it's like lots of nuance because you don't discuss it as often. That will not be the case today.
I'm not going to lie. I genuinely did not give a fuck about the bottom 5
whatsoever. The bottom 5, I don't give a single shit. Here we are. We're not even going to go team. Usually we go like person by person. Here's all 3 of our sections. At 30, I have the Wizards. 29, I have the Pelicans. 28, I have Charlotte. 27, Utah. 26, Brooklyn.
Yep.
Okay, nice. At 30, I got Washington, 29, Utah, 28, Charlotte, 27, New Orleans, 26, Chicago.
At 30, I have Utah. At 29, I have Washington. 28, I have Charlotte. 27, I have New Orleans. And at 26, I have Brooklyn.
Yeah, there's not much discussion to be had here. This is a year, like every other year, where around this time, there's 8-9 teams that have clearly kind of just TKO'd themselves out of the conference, out of the relevancy in terms of postseason play. So the interesting part to me was noticing, because I had zoned out with this team for the past couple weeks, the Pelicans have lost 9 straight games.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I wanted to put them a little bit higher over teams like Utah and Charlotte because Zion's back. I know Zion's been playing really well. I've loved what Trey Murphy's done. 9 straight losses is insane.
That is tough. However, again, at this point, because all of these teams are one out of playoff contention, out of play-in contention, the tiebreaker for me is how much quote unquote fun am I having whenever I'm watching you play? And at least with the Pelicans, there are some, like, I like watching Trey Murphy hoop, right?
I like it a lot.
He's a good hooper. Whenever Zion does play, there's some good stuff to see. So out of a lot of these teams, the Pelicans are higher, even though that they've lost, 9 straight and that they are in the absolute gutter. But tiebreaker, they got it. So
Zion's currently averaging, since he came back, 30 points per 36 minutes.
Yeah.
It's crazy. He's been on a scoring tear. Does not matter. The team is horrible. No DeJounte there. The center room sucks. Team's just been in turmoil. We know what it is. The season's lost.
Yeah, I agree. It's just a different type of turmoil when I look at teams like Washington and Utah. Like, I see Zion, I see what he's doing. I'm like, okay, like I seen them get into it with, I believe it was the Sacramento Kings that they lost against the other night. Ass is ass. They're separated by like 2 games or so. We seen what the Utah Jazz got done to them with by Jackson Hayes. I'm not even going to throw Luka Doncic's name out there. I see what Rui Hachimura did to them. I see what Dorian Finney-Smith Jr. did to them. And I'm like, wow, they put fist on you guys. So I'm like, you guys definitely deserve to be number 29.
Yeah, and Charlotte is also one of those teams that obviously Washington should be last here. I just realized Donovan is Utah last. That's hilarious. Washington, hey, you're not 30th to one of us. Congratulations, Washington. You made it come up. Outside of them, I really, really wanted to put Charlotte second to last just because they're such an abomination. We don't gotta spend any time
He's
talking
salty
about
about the Mark Williams trade. That's all it is.
Oh, I forgot about Mark Williams. Yeah. Maybe Dalton Connect could have saved their season and get this on their playboard. Yeah, man. Since the LaMelo Ball thing kind of died off after that crazy start, 30 points per game, he's been pretty bad since coming back from injury.
And injury prone too.
They have
He's consistently in and out, dude. He's consistently in and out. He got hurt again recently. Same thing, ankle roll.
Remember early in the season, I was telling you guys when we did our top 30 player rankings that I don't know how to gauge how good I think LaMelo Ball is. I am even less sure these days how to gauge LaMelo Ball. And I saw a tweet where someone said they don't think any GM would take LaMelo over Tyrese Halliburton, despite their differences in PR. I would certainly take Tyrese Halliburton. I'll leave it there.
Certainly. Wow. Like you wouldn't even think twice about it.
No.
I would certainly take Tyrese Halliburton.
I would not.
Wow.
I would not. And I honestly think that the fact that LaMelo has come back from injury, but then also still been in and out the lineup, has dropped off. And he still, has all the keys, has the ultimate green light, all that. But this is kind of more of what you think of what would happen if LaMelo Ball had a green light. Like if you gave everybody in the league ultimate green light, 40% usage rate, all that stuff, how do you think it would go in terms of efficiency and winning and all that type of stuff? LaMelo Ball, obviously, I think, and again, he's not in a great situation, but still.
He's in a horrible situation.
Yeah.
So let's make sure that's clear.
Yeah, it's not all on him, but him doing that does put your team on a certain side of that spectrum. So I think that, for me, whenever we get into ranking season this summer, I kind of have a very clear place of where I think LaMelo Ball is in terms of point guard rankings and in terms of his standing throughout the league.
Yeah, when we did our top 30 rankings at Christmas, when we do that list, it's we have 20 games of sample size. Part of it is we know something's going to age bad. The hyping up of LaMelo, we gave him credit for averaging 30, being a just bucket, green light, just bucket getter. That part to me is aged a little bad. We all put him top 25 or so. Some of the people I left off, I would certainly rather have.
Definitely. I mean, we could list off a long list of names, but
Evan
I
Mobley
will
was
say
31. Evan Mobley, I am sorry.
Things change. You put up fucking what's his name, Bam Adebayo on the list over him, and I was like, Ryan, giving Bam no credit. Obviously,
Bam, I'm
it was
done.
20-25 games, and
I'm done.
It's 20-25 games, and I understand. I feel like if you put most players in this Charlotte Hornets situation, they're gonna look like shit. Maybe not as bad as LaMelo because there's certain things in his game that you are worried about. But something I will say is that throughout the first 20-25 games of the year, or maybe 18 games, because I think he got hurt around that time.
Yep.
His efficiency was great.
No.
Shooting 44%, 39% from the 3-point line and all that. And when he went out with extensive injury, he came back a different player, a clear worse player, and he's shooting 39% from the field. So it's
his version of
there's to me, it's cool seeing these buckets in the spectrum that you're talking about. And it's entirely dependent in my mind when it comes to how effective are these buckets. They were really effective earlier in the year. And since he went out with extensive injury, he's looked like shit. Yeah. And so I don't see him as a player necessarily swinging for me. I see a situation just getting that much muddier, and it's harder to have built-in respect for players like him.
Yeah.
In terms of hierarchy, when your team is just a pile of shit.
This season, I'm always, whenever we discuss players like LaMelo over the years of this podcast, I'm always team situation sucks. I guarantee you put him in a smart coach's system. he can be better. You can find ways to extract value from these skill sets. I'm never ever gonna say somebody is empty stats, good stats, bad team guy. The Bill Simmons line. I will never say that about anybody that's against my basketball ideology and how I want to appreciate talent. LaMelo Ball is making me rethink some things. It's making me think maybe I need to be less hardline stance on that.
It's either that or the Charlotte Hornets are some real generational ass.
Exactly. So I got to see. I'm not out on LaMelo, but he's making me question my ideology a little bit and how absolute I should be about that, about the way some people are able to.
Do you see these highlights right now? Taj Gibson's on the court. Taj Gibson
in
2025.
People can't see. I'll switch it back over right now, but yeah.
Taj Gibson in 2025. That's what he's running with right now.
Again.
T-John Salon.
Yeah, so we'll see again. It is the worst case scenario, so I'm not saying he's trash.
Yeah.
But when we hype him up as like a top tier player and the team's continuously ass, I'm just gonna say like to somebody else like Tyrese Halliburton who's a little more safe. Maybe I'd rather take that and build around a higher floor.
Yeah, if you want to make those statements as of now, that's perfectly fine. Me personally, I would not just yet.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not sure.
The verdict is out.
I'll talk to you in July about that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not out, but I am noticing in the worst way. But that's the only interesting thing to talk about these bottom teams. Utah is shit from a butt. Washington, shit from a butt. Shout out Jordan Poole. I think he's had a good season. We have two of us have Brooklyn on here. One of us has Chicago on there. Tanking teams. They traded their best player, both teams. So
yeah, then they're gonna be like totally ass in similar ways. Not too much you said about that at all.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next 5, which is also gonna be when we speed through to get to the interesting teams, but maybe a little more conversation. From 25 through 21. At 25, I have the Chicago Bulls. 24, the Toronto Raptors. 23, the Philadelphia 76ers, which is still crazy to see. 22, Miami Heat. 21, Atlanta Hawks.
Okay, wow. All right, so 25, I got Brooklyn. 24, Toronto. 23, Philly. 22, Portland. 21, I got Phoenix.
Okay.
That's so low for Phoenix. Not to say it's low because you did bad, but it's just hilarious that they're in the place where that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Okay. I have Toronto at 25, Philly at 24, Chicago at 23, Portland at 22, and then Atlanta at 21.
So I think you guys need to be more Portland appreciators.
Nah,
That's
listen.
what I think.
I love Portland so much, and
Not enough.
something. No. Earlier in the season, I vividly remember. I was like, "Yo, like this team is trash." But if there's one identity that they could lean towards, is their fucking defense, and they've been doing it. Like literally or maybe it was towards the end of last year or earlier this season. Either one of the two. I noticed that their offense is of course horrendous, but they were like 18th, 17th in defense. I was like, "Yo, like they're kind of doing something here. Like they're ass, but they're being like super productive." And when it comes to having a rebuilding team, sure, they're not the most like glamorous whatsoever, but in terms of what they're doing behind Denny Avdija, Scoot Henderson coming alive, and then Donovan Clingan, who's been one of the better rookies that no one's talked about because his offensive numbers is just they're actually doing some real productive things over there, and they're not as ass that many people think of him to be.
When I watch Donovan Clingan, I just think to myself, I cannot believe this man is not a member of the Atlanta Hawks. He would be so perfect for Trae Young. Donovan Clingan is going to be one of the best rim defenders in the NBA, and I feel immediately confident that any single time I watch him, his drop technique is so good. Once he's in a position to start full time and like have his feet under him, I have no doubt in my mind he'll be an elite defender.
And that's exactly the reason why, like coming into the year, we all felt like confident about at least like the direction of where Portland was going.
Oh, yeah,
because it was like, okay, maybe if you could see a little bit of something from Scoot, you can see something defensively from Clingan. And I thought that at the deadline, maybe, you go and you move off of Jeremy Grant, you get some assets going into next year. They didn't necessarily do that, but in the offseason, we'll see what happens. But they started off really, really bad. They're kind of on track to where like we all thought that they would be at this point in the year, and in terms of like their development, which is really cool. Also, I'm feeling gaslit because the other day on stream, I was gonna say that. The other day on stream, I hinted towards like, hey, the Blazers are kind of doing something, and I was just like, oh, boohoo, they lost. That
was the Isaac thing,
And now he puts them higher than anybody saying that you don't appreciate.
That was the Isaac thing, yeah.
I just want you guys to know that I think you're pussies every time you say, I'm feeling so gaslit. I think it's so weak. Every single time.
Wow, we can't express how we feel these days?
No, we used to be men. We used to be men.
I was lied to.
I get the most like fucking just like Gen X old man brain every time I hear that sentence. I'm like, oh my gosh, shut up.
Something else that I will say about this Portland Trailblazers
I
team
was
that I've been
bamboozled.
I've been so disrespectful towards is one of their wings specifically, who I disrespected so hard when I think he was a part of the Damian Lillard trade or something like that.
Mhm.
They got this certain new dude who I called too many cameras, Tumani Kamara. He is so fucking good. He's
a
one of
hooper.
like the 7 best wing defenders that the entire league has to offer, and they just stumbled upon him off of nothing. Shout out to the Belgian / like my Malian brother over there. He's fucking hooping, bro.
What is
he's
he?
He's Malian. It's a
Oh,
country.
Belgian and Malian. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not know that. But yeah, shout out him. He's fantastic. For a lot of this power rankings, I'm looking at last 15 games as like the main thing I'm really judging on, because you kind of want to think about who they are right now in the essence of a power ranking. Last 15 games, this team is number 6 in defense.
Yeah.
And that really came about because they benched Shaden Sharp, who everybody likes because he moves like a star. He jumps like a star. He's shifty like a star. The potential still is there. Hasn't really come together in any meaningful way throughout the first few years of his career that you'd want to see. Once they benched him and really I think it really balanced out their guard rotation. Simon's looking a lot better recently, I think, offensively. DeAndre Ayton has life. I just want you to know, as an Ayton truther who has since been beaten into submission, I'm starting to see the Ayton that I thought I would see, and why I've always said he's still good. I know he's whack and he's not a hard worker and he's lame as hell. He'll be good. We're getting that for the last 15 games. Do I currently believe that I should still hold the stock I once did and think this would be the case for any meaningful amount of consistency? No. I'm over it. I've been beaten into submission. I'm done with the DeAndre Ayton experience, but I'm noticing it's looking good. And like you said, having Denny and Kamara as wing defenders with Klingon and bench minutes to just constantly give you an elite center to guard the rim, who Aiden's been pretty good defensively. Maybe I shouldn't say elite, but good rim defense, 2 of the best wing defenders you could possibly imagine. That's just a high floor. That's 4 great defenders to really build out a defense. That's how you get to competency.
Exactly. And to your point, I hope that DeAndre Ayton finishes the season very, very strong. And that the Portland Trailblazers do exactly what the Atlanta Hawks did, and they sell high on DeAndre Ayton. I think that I do think that the Blazers should move off of Ayton.
Yeah, for sure.
absolutely.
Yeah, you know who they should move him to? The Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta
Who?
Hawks could
Ayton?
definitely use Ayton. Yeah.
Oh, get the hell out of here. He does not need. He needs to be very far away from the city
That's
of
what I
Atlanta.
was
He's
saying.
banned from Atlanta also.
Yeah, I definitely. Yeah, I don't know. But, I mean, it would be a good basketball fit, but actually, maybe not that good of a basketball fit. I don't know.
Just keep him away from here, bro. He's banned from Atlanta. Once again, I said I have connections. ATL Water Boys, when they see him there, they're gonna hunt him down.
Yes.
I'll always believe that the right coach could get some out of Ayton and he could be really good, but yeah, I don't know if Atlanta has the infrastructure to really get that out of him.
But they're good. I respect you a lot for putting them higher. I wanted to put them higher, but I'm just like, these other teams are trying really, really hard. I don't know how high they can soar.
Yeah, well, I don't have them much higher, so I'm not going to pretend I have them in some drastically different tier. I was kidding. I view them
20.
relatively the same. Yeah, I don't remember. It's probably 20 or 19 or something. Yeah, 20. So,
You have the Miami Heat at 22. That's interesting.
yeah, the Miami Heat are not going to be that good. Shout out them for getting rid of Jimmy Butler and getting Wiggins, who is...
It's very true.
Shout out Wiggins. I think will be great whenever they figure out the next version of the team. This version of the team without Jimmy Butler will be feisty, will be fun. They will be unserious. I put Miami and I put Atlanta here because Miami lost Jimmy Butler and Atlanta lost Jalen Johnson. I think both teams can make a nice shit pie out of the shit situation they've been dealt, being undermanned and getting the most they can of these new role players they added. Nevertheless, they will be entirely irrelevant because they just don't have enough talent. So I put the team in Portland above them, who has shown life as of late. They've been a good team for a small sample size, and I'm like, shout out them. I'll reward them over a team that just doesn't have any ability to really elevate more than what we've seen now.
I see that. I wouldn't want to put Portland over Miami because I think Miami's obviously they're 2 different teams, 2 different timelines. We're just talking about how good they are right now. I think Andrew Wiggins isn't as hard of an experience to figure out because at the end of the day, he is Andrew Wiggins and he's not like a humongous part of your offense necessarily whatsoever. And as for Atlanta, it's hard to gauge them against Portland too because Portland they're just so set and solidified, and Atlanta made so many exterior changes to their offense and their defense. So I'm gonna hold verdict on that, but I feel like those 2 teams need more respect over Portland.
Yeah, so I'll let this be said too. I did kind of just, in the reshuffling of teams, forget about Miami. So I don't really feel strongly about this. So if they're above Portland, that's fine. You move teams around. Somebody gets pushed down a couple spots by accident. You're like, oh, I forgot to move them.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd put Miami above Atlanta. They do have an all-star. Bam's really good.
No, I'm talking about Portland. Leave Atlanta right there.
No, Portland's been good as of late. I don't think Miami and Atlanta are worth shit right now. They have a higher floor than Portland for sure. Portland could fall off, and we could be looking at a team that is just bad again, whereas Atlanta and Miami are safer. But I don't think they have a ceiling that's worth acknowledging. So I thought, let me reward Portland.
Hey, man. Three-game win streak. Karis LeVert.
Who'd you beat in those 3 games?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
You beat the stinky-ass Orlando Magic. You beat the stinky-ass Wizards.
We've been doing what we've been supposed to
The
be
Bucks
doing.
without Giannis. Okay.
Hey, listen. You got to
doing.
win games. You got to win games.
Shout out them. They
The
won a
Wizards
few.
beat us before in the season earlier, bro.
Shout out them.
Yeah.
They won a few.
You got to do.
We all have Philly in this tier.
Wow.
Joel Embiid is back on a very part-time basis. Joel Embiid played in the most recent game against the Toronto Raptors. We're recording this a little bit earlier than usual because we're traveling for All-Star, so maybe some other games has happened by the time you guys are watching this in 2 days. That game ended with Joel Embiid passing up a wide-open 3 to try to get into the mid-range and get into his jumper/foul baiting game. Turned it over. They lost in dramatic fashion. Paul George has continued to be absolutely terrible for the money he's making. It feels like this experiment is coming to a fiery, disastrous conclusion, even if they're healthy. Pain.
I mean,
It's
just the
over.
other day,
It's
he
over.
came out saying that he has like some bad knee pain that's been they couldn't figure it out for the life of him, and he might need surgery at the end of the year. I say probably if they go on another skid, Joel Embiid should look at this season, chalk it up, be like, what the fuck am I even playing for at this point in time? It's probably useful for him to like just sit out and get as healthy as he can for as as fast as he can to get ready for next season. I have no hope, no belief. I think the last power rankings, I soared them maybe up to 15.
Oh, yeah, you had him dumb high. I
know.
forgot.
I
Yeah.
had him high. I had him pretty high.
Yeah.
And that was like me being super optimistic about Joel Embiid and his health. And in general, he's looked like the pretty much normal, regular Joel Embiid, excluding
Just
like
rusty.
how this game ended or whatever. So when it comes to you scared the living shit out of me when it comes to how you're prefacing the end of Joel Embiid in like his prime. That still might happen after this surgery. But as of now, like he looks
I was
regular.
right.
That's correct.
I didn't say when he's on the court, he'd look terrible.
Mhm.
I said his prime is over because you just won't get 20 games in a row like ever again. So you won't be able to consistently build around that. I didn't say every time he's on the court, Joel Embiid is going to be able to get you 25 points in a game, and it's going to be pretty when he's on the court.
Do you know how good you have to be to like have no rhythm in your game and still be just able to like
Yes,
roll
no,
into
no,
shit?
he's
Like
What I've
that?
been saying for years. He's better than
no.
everyone thinks.
Listen, he's very talented, right? But I think like at the beginning of the year, he had came out and said the thing of like, I'm not gonna play any back to backs, and we're for the rest of my career. And we were like, word, like it's like that
Forever?
And at first we were like, okay, maybe it's like this year, maybe he's over exaggerating, whatever. No, it's probably legitimate. He may not ever play a back to back type of situation. He's out if I'm not mistaken, I think he's out tonight with injury management. And so again, playing 2 games in a row, playing 5 games in a row, I'm not sure how a 7'2", 280-pound center who is not just like your very traditional, I'm going to back you down. His game does require
Agility.
a lot of agility. It requires a lot of movement. For him to be the defender that we all thought of Joel Embiid, he's going to have to move around a little bit. None of that is available to him at this point. And if we're already in February talking about him saying he's going to need another knee surgery that might take a very extensive recovery process again, how many knee surgeries, how many lower leg injuries are we going to have to go through before we feel comfortable about Joel Embiid, who is on the other side of 30 at this point? Like it's not.
Yeah, it's just sad. It's
not
just
good.
sad.
So yeah,
I hope that he does get that knee surgery that's in the news right now, that maybe he needs that to take an extended period of time off and hope that it can fix the knee, which maybe that means like 8 months out, and then hope that it'll get better from there and eventually can play consistently. Do it at this point, because right now it feels like it's either you take a year off and hope things be better, or you just deal with it forever and it's never going to be better. So tough times.
yes.
Other team in this tier, you have Phoenix at 21. We'll talk about them in a little bit because we have them higher, clearly, I'm sure, just slightly. Shout out Toronto. Shout out the Brandon Ingram trade. We'll see what it looks like when they get him on the court. Maybe they'll look competent and rise up the list, but thus far they're still atrocious, and 24 is
Fine.
gracious
It's okay.
even at times.
Sure. I mean, they're not completely trash, so.
They're
We give
pretty
them that.
trash right now.
But is it completely trash?
I guess not. If completely trash is like the Wizards, then they're not completely trash.
Yeah.
But it's not far.
Yeah, they got some parts. They may not be working, but they got
Yeah,
parts.
they're there, all right. Okay, they don't fit together, but they're there. Next tier, we got the first one that we're going to go piece by piece and really take our time with, 20 through 16. At 20, I have the Portland Trailblazers, who just talked about at length. 19, the Phoenix Suns. 18, Orlando Magic. 17, San Antonio Spurs. 16, Dallas Mavericks. I really struggle with what to do with the Mavericks.
Yeah.
Because we all think they're going to be good if they're healthy. But now we know they're not going to be healthy for a long time, and they might fucking plummet down the standings. Derek Lively's out right now. Daniel Gafford just got hurt. Anthony Davis is out for probably 3 or 4 weeks. And in the report the Mavericks haven't really clarified how long he's going to be out for. They're playing it very coy on purpose, I think.
They know what it is. They're just scared to say it.
Yeah. Mark Stein is also not going to say it because it's not his job to come out and say it. But he alluded to the fact that, there's some worry that maybe that 1 month might become 4, might become season over. That's in the air. And if that's the case, obviously, the American Airlines Center will be ash. So I hope that Anthony Davis isn't so unlucky that he gets hurt and out for the season in his fucking first game back.
Yeah.
But Dallas, you're going to be really good if you're healthy. I fear you may never be healthy.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it. I think I put them around this range in tier 2. I have no idea how to gauge the health of this team.
Mm-hmm.
All 3 of their centers are out. Derek Lively, like you said, Anthony Davis, and recently Daniel Gafford. I like what Kyrie Irving does. He's a great player, but also like he's still somewhat hobbled going through this season as well. And when you are currently a team that is below water, I think they're slightly below 500 or just around that range.
Mm-hmm.
I see you. You cannot afford any injuries whatsoever. You're 110% relying on Kyrie Irving and the rest of your wings to carry you through the turmoil that's going on in the Western Conference. And right now, as we speak, I do not believe in that. If AD was there, I don't even care about Daniel Gafford. I don't even care about Derek Lively. If AD was simply there, then I'm like, yeah, they're going to like surge because AD is that caliber of defender and offensive player.
Yeah.
But it's not there, so...
Yeah, it's not hard to parse what their health is going to be like.
Bad.
They're injured as hell. That's where they're at. And so for the sake of the American Airlines Center and its infrastructure, the police presence around Nico Harrison's crib, I hope Anthony Davis is able to get back onto the court because it's not looking good. And so like I don't again,
Bro.
I can't remember the exact number that I put him on here, but I don't have a lot of hope for the Mavericks just because the whole season on paper and even like on the basketball court, having Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis makes sense.
Yeah.
In a vacuum. Having Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis on your team because you traded away Luka Doncic, the player that you built your entire team around, and now your entire fan base, the entire vibe from head to toe, there is just confusion all throughout the team. That in itself,
You lost your identity.
Yeah,
It's tough.
all of that. That doesn't give me any hope. So I don't have a lot of faith for the Mavericks moving forward, especially when there's other teams in the West that got better at the deadline, didn't trade away a 25-year-old all-time great, and they have the ability to make a little bit of a push.
You know what
to
it is?
get to the play-in.
It's like Nico Harrison had a bad bitch for the first time and didn't know how to treat her, and he just like lost her, bro. He just doesn't know what to do. She's a little bit like high maintenance or whatever, likes to do her own thing, and he's just like, we know whatever, we're better without you.
She was wearing too many Fashion Nova bodysuits.
Yeah,
He wasn't
exactly.
rocking it.
She liked to get her facials and all that or whatever, and he's just like, bro, like you're doing too much. Get out of here.
He had
I
a
don't
date
need
in
you.
his pay range, you know?
Yeah, exactly. He's
He
like,
said, she costs too much for me. I can't do that.
and he's just fumbling her, and now this boy's in turmoil.
I haven't heard this metaphor yet, but I think that's like exactly right.
Yeah.
He had a problem with the amount of like people that Luka
amount
hired,
of-
his own
of
health team
attention.
around him.
Yeah.
He had a problem with Luka moving like a star and feeling entitled and like doing star stuff and feeling like he didn't have to work hard. That's what you get when you're all-time great and you
Yeah.
just wake up, roll out of bed, and you're getting buckets in the finals. Nico wasn't prepared for that. Nico needs a little 15th best player in the world type of
Yeah.
star to build around.
Yeah, sometimes you don't know how good you have it until you fucking lose it,
Know
bro.
yourself, man. Know yourself.
Exactly. Act
That's
like
a
you fucking
good-
been here before. Shit, Nico.
That's
Good
a
job.
good way
Good
to
job.
view it. I think you're right.
Yeah, he lost his first bad bitch, bro.
He did.
It's tough.
He's never gonna get another one either because he's gonna get fucking fired.
And there's a reason why all these Dallas Maverick fans are being so like dramatic dramatic about it. It's something to be dramatic about because they've been without.
But you had the baddest bitch. Like,
Exactly.
Luka Doncic is the baddest bitch at the
Exactly.
party.
You were from Dirk Nowitzki. You had a little drought because, Dirk was Dirk at his old age or whatever. Then you went ahead, read up and got someone who's even better. And then you let him go. What is going on here?
All natural. It's Luka. Like,
I felt that pain before. I was Nico Harrison at one point in my life. Never again.
Nico Harrison's going to turn into an NBA incel pretty soon.
No facts. He's the worst, bro.
Be a red pill.
Red pill demon.
Yo, for real.
Yes, he
Yes,
is.
he
Legitimately
is.
makes no sense. He's so bad for humanity.
He's not going to hire another European player ever. Other than Dallas at 16, how do you guys feel about the teams here? We don't got to talk about Portland anymore. How do you guys feel about 19 Phoenix, 18
Okay.
Orlando, 17 Spurs?
I think you're lower on Orlando than what they actually are in terms of.
I don't think he is.
No, I
don't think he is.
I do.
We know you do.
And the only reason why is because, and I guess this is the difference. We projected a little bit. I think you are very much entrenched in terms of the stretch that they recently have.
True.
And I think I'm projecting a little bit forward. And I think that they can be a little bit better than what they are right now, because what they are right now is not great.
Here's the thing. I agree. A little bit better than what they are right now is the 18th team in the league. What they have been over the last 15 games is like the 27th best team in the league. So I'm with you. I think you love Orlando. You're fully on board of Paolo and Franz being the guys. You're fully on board of what they can be. If we're living in reality, they are the worst offense in the NBA.
No, it is very.
They are absolutely atrocious. Paolo Banchero came in for 5 games to start the year. Looked like a demon. It looked like he addressed every concern people like me had for him last year. He looked like he finally became the idealized version that everybody that loves him pretended he was last year. Got hurt his oblique, tummy hurt, was out for, what was it, 8 weeks? Something like that?
It was a long time.
Good amount of time. Since he has come back, there's been some flashes. Overall, he has not been good. It's around 20 points per game on pretty bad efficiency over that time. It's like a 51 true shooting.
Dang, people can't warm up. I mean,
How long you got that warm up for?
It's been like 12, 15 games. I do not. We still have yet to see a single stretch of play in 3 years in which they are better with Paolo on the court than with him off it. Right now, with Franz on the court and Paolo off, they have an 11 net rating.
You're about to say some
With
blasphemous
Paolo
stuff.
on the court and Franz off, it's negative 8.8 net rating. With them both together, negative 5.2. I do not think Paolo is bad. I think I would like to see a world in which him and Franz can coexist and win their minutes together. Or when Paolo can win his minutes without Franz. I would like to see the idealized version of him come to life for an extended period of time where they aren't anchoring the worst offense in the NBA. They didn't do anything at the deadline. I don't see any world in which it gets super much better. Now, Suggs is hurt. Jalen Suggs makes a big difference. I mentioned those on-off numbers. Franz had the ability to play with Suggs for a lot of that, so maybe that helps him. This is 3 years in a row of the numbers being drastically better with Franz on and Paolo off. Maybe we need to just acknowledge that maybe they just aren't fitting well together the way they're currently being deployed. And maybe there isn't some better world in sight in which the offense is going to be anything decent.
Or maybe, right?
Here we go.
No, legitimately, and this is something that I wish I'm with you. I 100% wish that they made a move at the deadline, because the way that I'm seeing it right now is that, yes, you need to be able to win minutes, and you need to be able to be a very, very good team with Franz and Paolo out on the floor. But also, shout out to Jalen Suggs. If your team rides and dies on Jalen Suggs being in the lineup and you do not have enough answers if he goes out, that's a problem, right? Like you need to be able to be like to maintain without Jalen Suggs. And like I think that Paolo came into the season for the first 5 games, obviously on a heater. I'm gonna give him a little bit more time.
That's fine.
It has been. Listen, has it been a end all be all in terms of sample size? No. Has it been enough to where you could be like, hey man, I'm gonna need you to start hitting shots. Yes, and that's
only so much fine you could
that's
do.
where I'm at. But I'm also, as you acknowledge, I'm on the higher side of them to where I think that like those shots are gonna fall. He's shooting like 27% from 3 in the last like 16 games
For the season. It's pretty bad.
I mean, he played 5 games, missed 8 weeks,
And
then
those
16
5
games.
amazing games are currently being just drowned by all the
Yes.
sea of bad games.
But it's kind of the same thing like with Franz last year, where you were like, okay, eventually you're going to have to shoot better. Like, I know you're not a 27% 3-point shooter. I do think that some of those numbers will come back to the mean a little bit. And once you start hitting 1 to 2 more threes a night, then it starts to look and feel a little bit different than what it is right now.
Yeah,
That's all dreams. None of it's real. None of it's happened.
Asking for one more three a night is not like massive for a guy
banking
like
on that making them a good offense is the dream because it has never happened.
Oh no, I'm not talking about the offense. I'm talking specifically about Paolo Banchero.
Yeah.
That is where
I think what it is
where my vision lies.
with Paolo, it's just so with his play style and archetype, he's in the worst like possible scenario to try to uplift this team with zero spacing.
Yes,
You
That
know?
is so
It's
gassed.
the
That is
worst.
so over exaggerated.
Now, something I
Paolo
will
needs to
say-
make some fucking
No,
shots.
no,
No,
it
that
is-
is
it
true.
is-
That is true. Like him not making his shots, his ability to just want to lean towards trying to make tougher shots, and I'm using more of his brute force is an actual issue. You know, if he was more of a brute force and just was on like semi-Giannis type timing, then we wouldn't see, or the spacing issues wouldn't be as loud because
He's not-
his
he's
efficiency
not-
is
Spacing
going to
is
be higher.
fine. Paolo,
not
Franz,
KCP is so bad. His
Franz
spacing
has
is
no
not necessarily
issue
fine.
getting to the rim because
But
he's
that's
good
because
at that.
it's play style, though. That's what it is. What I'm saying. It's the play style between these two, and that's why I'm like, okay, like
Yeah.
red flags are really loud right now. And I
The
look
red
at someone like Paolo, I'm like, you're gonna have a tougher time being better in most scenarios compared to someone like Franz because his mindset and ability to just like read the floor and just get
Yes,
buckets
it's a little
effortlessly.
bit of
He's
both.
more
It's a-
downhill.
But you're
you know?
describing a
both.
skill issue, not a team issue entirely. Like Franz can get to the rim well. The spacing doesn't hold him back from being a productive scorer when the mid-range jumper isn't falling because he's good at driving, good at making snap decisions, good at making reads. And Paolo sucks at that right now. He needs to get better at that. And we give him so much slack and just attributed most of it to spacing. They don't have some like league altering, impossible to succeed in spacing. They don't have the best shooting in the world. I'm not going to pretend that KCP this season, Anthony Black is out here giving them amazing to work with spacing, but it's okay. It's fine. Like it's doable to the point where you shouldn't be incapable of having the league average scoring efficiency for a season. Like
That is true. That is true because there is a certain level of like, hey, if you're gonna be that guy, there are certain levels and certain barriers that you are just gonna have to overcome by yourself. And then whenever you do get proper help around you, like Cade Cunningham, when Cade finally gets this quote unquote ideal situation, which is just competency, you see Cade go from a guy where you're like, okay, I see the flashes, I see all that, to an all-star in the league. If Paolo was showing a little bit more of that, I can 100% see a world where people who are thinking like Isaac right now are like, you can like see from time to time what Paolo's doing, and then once you get into at least a slightly better situation, yes, you can instantly be an all NBA type player, but he does have to be better, and this is something that we've seen for the better part of 3 years.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
in terms
my
of
mind,
how
though-
they are constructed right now,
Yeah.
they do need Jalen Suggs right now in this moment. And so whenever Jalen Suggs does come back, I do think they are going to be a better team. I do think that Paolo is going to be better.
Yeah.
And so I'm going off of that. Everything else in terms of like big picture, ceiling, I was a little bit too high on that, but when I talk about the Magic right now, I'm not focused on that. I'm just talking about them being better than what they are right now and better than the 18th best team in the league.
Yeah. In my mind, when I think about someone like Paolo Banchero, I'm like, you shouldn't have to be that dependent on someone like Jalen Suggs to like have him affect the entire efficiency of your game and how it just swings the entire like pendulum.
Yeah, well,
and that's why I'm like,
also, shout out to Jalen
switching.
Suggs for like being important at work. You know,
Yeah,
like,
no, for sure.
Jalen Suggs isn't the reason they suck offensively.
Shout
Like
out to him.
I said that as a joke earlier, and we keep running with it. Jalen Suggs is why their defense hasn't been very good and why they're losing games now. They're 16th in defense over the last 15 games.
I think you'd feel a little bit better about them. Even looking at the numbers, I think if you saw a couple wins in like slided in, I do think you would feel a little bit different, even if the numbers were the same.
Great, win some games then. Because in the last 16 games, they're 30th in offense and 16th in defense.
Yeah.
The 16th in defense is where I think the Jalen Suggs thing is really, really being felt. He helps offensively too. He's one of the better offensive players. But this is just, since Paolo's come back, the aggressiveness we saw driving to the rim is non-existent that we saw in those first 5 games. That to me is where he's the head of the snake. They're still playing through him. They see their ceiling long-term as him being the main driver and Franz playing off of him, I think. At a certain point, we need to have some recalibration. Franz is the better playmaker, the better driver, creative advantages. And I think for a third year in a row, we see the drastically different on-off numbers when they're playing solo and together. I'm not saying Franz is better than him or will be better than him long-term, but he's sure as fuck playing better right now. And sure as hell a better playmaker that needs to drive more offense. And I don't have faith that that's going to be a dynamic they figure out. So I just don't know why I should put them higher until they show me the 20th best offense for a 10-game stretch.
I mean, over Dallas?
Well, that's the thing that like I want to give them credit for. They're going to be good if they're healthy. Maybe Anthony Davis only missed 3 weeks, and one of those weeks is the All-Star break. So maybe they come back in a few weeks and they're fine. In that case, they're going to be a way better team if they're healthy.
Yeah. Right now, too, yeah. I can understand that logic completely. I've been wanting to see this Orlando duo figure it out, and there's just needs to be a recalibration, just not a complete reset, but just a slight adjustment in terms of how they decide to utilize someone like Paolo. And they probably need to uplift Franz just a little bit more because that just seems to be more productive. The numbers say it, how players play with Paolo versus Franz say it. Everything just leads toward that direction. And Paolo's defense, even these last few games, has just like not led up to expectations whatsoever. You can't be that level of player and still have your team be 30th in offense. Like all the young star players who are comparable to Paolo, you can see them in similar situations before in the past or whatever it is, have a similar level of offensive talent around them and not be 30th in offense. Yeah. And not like make their life harder and their teammates' life harder as well. Like
so much of it is just like so much of it is Paolo's habits and just this play style he has and like the ways he's deploying himself on court and the type of reads and movements he's making is just, it's so out of line with the role he has. He has the role and the touches of being this half-court creator that's going to be the head of the snake, start plays, create advantages, keep the ball moving for others. And since he's come back, it has so often just been tough mid-range jumpers, tough fadeaways that aren't creating advantages at all. Then you see the minutes where Franz is leading the offense, and he's consistently generating a paint touch, consistently generating shots for others. And it's like if you just put those habits and that part of the basketball brain into Paolo, he would be the star we want him to be. But we need to see it for like some successful amount of time.
Yeah, the numbers are jarring and they're irrefutable, but I like to see the footage too as well. And I watched specific footage of Paolo Banchero only. I was just solely locked in on him. Rewatched the same game twice, condensed. Saw Franz Wagner. I'm like, damn, if I was a player, bro, I'd want to play someone like Franz because like these passes are getting off to me a lot quicker versus like pound the ball 5, 6, 7, 8 times back behind the basket. It's like a washed version of basketball that he's playing, and he's being forced into a specific role that he just might not be equipped to have yet.
If Franz had the gas of being number 1 overall pick and Paolo was number 7 overall pick, this team would be deploying those two guys much differently, and their offense would be a lot better for it.
Just give Franz some aura. Give him some braids, couple tattoos. Get him the arm sleeve, leg sleeve that Paolo has, and then we're going to
draft bias is a motherfucker. Even infects coaching staffs.
It's hard. It's tough.
No. It's.
I think they can work together.
I have to stand. Listen. I have to stand up for my guy here because I do think that there is a little bit of unfairness towards Paolo because we're acting like Franz wasn't like an awful shooter last year and didn't hold the team back offensively as well. And we're acting like for 3 straight years, Franz has been doing absolutely everything, carrying this offense when, yes, like their offense has been bad the entire time. Both of them have been there, whatever. But they've done all of this, and Paolo was a better scorer last year. And you got to the playoffs, and Paolo was better there. And so, like, yes, they've both been hurt this entire season. Yes, Paolo has played a limited amount of games. And so I do think that it's unfair to be like, oh, Paolo has to do this and do that when he was kind of like halfway in that role last year because Franz was trying to catch up on his shooting, and Franz had a down year shooting.
I mean, sure, if you want Franz to be criticized last year so it feels fair in the criticism level, great. But that has zero impact on this year. Either way, whatever you feel about last year and you feel about Franz's level of play, he's still not a good shooter this year. He's still shooting 31% from 3. It's just that's not the end all be all with him. Like so far, the shooting has been the end all be all for Paolo because without the shot falling, since he's come back, he's been on a cold stretch. Which, like you said, he will start shooting better. He's not going to be terrible. There's also going to be stretches where he shoots poorly, and we need to see development in the playmaking, in the everything else around the game, the driving to the rim specifically. The thing we harped on last year that we thought was fixed, it's not. Those 5 games are clearly that was more small sample size than since he's come back. The Paolo we thought we were getting, this dominant rim finisher, is not here.
Those 5 games were also with Jalen Suggs being Steph Curry and Suggs shooting like 45% from 3, and so there was there was a little bit more spacing in terms of like the outside players. I think that like he is going to have a little time, and this is exactly why I love All-Star break, because I can sit here and I can say, you know what, just give him a little break, give him a week off.
He's tired.
Exactly. He's going to come back and he's going to rock out.
And I hope so. I'm not out on him, but they need to play better for me to put him higher on this ranking, just because I can only do so much with hope and fascination. I can project some people when they make a roster move, and I can say, this will fix this will fix that. If they would have went and got Anthony Simons or some dynamic creator to make things better, maybe I could have done that.
Mm-hmm.
But with 0 changes, it is a power ranking. And I know we're projecting more than usual. We do still have to gauge what they've been doing, and what they've been doing is awful.
Yeah, their GM is making their life so much harder too. Like, it's no matter what it is, we can see Paulo and Franz working. Paulo could be the best version of himself too. They still genuinely need to make a change. The KCP signing has not worked out in the slightest whatsoever. KB is not, or CB is not exactly who you want him to be just yet. And so they, regardless of the fact, Paulo and Franz aside, they needed to make a move. They didn't make a move. You belong to be in this range, in this territory.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, what's your 5?
So my 5 is at number 20, I got Sacramento, 19, Atlanta, 18, Miami, 17, Dallas, and I got 16, Orlando.
Okay. Yeah, I respect you putting Atlanta and Miami higher for being safer. I just didn't, but I totally respect it. I think that's, honestly, it's probably the right thing to do, so I'm cool with that. Sacramento's a hard one to gauge right now.
Did you have Sacramento higher than this?
I think I have them once. Yeah, I swear I have them one spot higher.
Interesting. Okay.
You had
Just-
them at 15?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Then
Just I think they have some learning pains to get through, but I think they have just more talent. Like Atlanta and Miami over Sacramento. Like I hope they figure it out.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't because the defense has been rough.
Yeah, you're right. Sacramento does have more talent, but like when it comes to like the framework of what's needed to win
Yeah.
basketball, which is like a level of defense.
I think they're gonna bench Malik
tough.
Monk to start Keon Ellis, and that'll be fine. And then they'll get back to being competent. Like I feel a lot better about them getting. I feel a lot better about them making the play-in than I do Miami and Atlanta.
There's only so much
I-
that Keon Ellis can do though. He's not gonna like change your entire. He's great, but like he's
Well,
Keon
we've
Ellis. at the
seen
end of
we've
the day.
seen we've seen Keon Ellis and like the insertion of Keon Ellis be kind of a difference maker for this team, and especially like you talk about this team, and like the joke was that they're Chicago Bulls West, and the number one question that we had for the Bulls whenever they first assembled this team was like, all right, yeah, like you have some talent, you have some scores. Who the hell are you gonna guard, right?
Yeah.
Could you have Levine and DeRozan and Vucevic, and now you have all those guys 3 years older, and Sabonis, who has never been a great defender, and so it's like, again, your defense really does rely on a certain piece, and so like for the Bulls, they had Lonzo and they had Caruso. Keon Ellis is in
Yeah.
that role for them, and he's
Now
that
that I think
important.
about it,
2-2 since getting Levine, not 0-4.
Yeah.
Like they're just above
Yeah.
500. The two East teams are just below 500. So I don't think it's insane.
There's some, no, it's absolutely not insane. Like I could easily switch in my mind like Dallas and Sacramento because there's a real world in which I can envision Dallas like just not making the play-in whatsoever.
Yeah.
Versus Sacramento because they're gonna continuously maintain a level of stability.
Yeah. That's
Okay, let's reveal Donovan's 3. We're spending a lot of time on this tier, but I like it. The Orlando
Yeah.
talk is a lot to talk about.
At 20, I have Dallas. At 19, I have Miami. At 18, I have the Spurs. 17, I have the Kings, and then at 16, I have the Pistons. I forgot everybody's acronym.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
But yeah.
So we have San Antonio in this tier. Mo, you have them higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I understand why, because they added De'Aaron Fox. You think they make him a lot better? I didn't put him higher because these motherfuckers are insisting on starting Chris Paul next to De'Aaron Fox.
I know.
Because clearly they promised this man a starting spot before the season started. That's why he signed with them. And my God, do I hate it. Their defense has been ass. They lost to the shit from a butt Atlanta Hawks. They lost to the shit from a butt Charlotte Hornets because the defense was atrocious. They've had I think I wrote it down. I didn't write it down, but
Lost
they've
to the
had
Magic
like
too.
what did you say?
I said they lost to the Magic too.
Oh, no, it was Magic. I didn't mean to say Hawks. It wasn't the Hawks, was it?
No,
No, it was the Hawks and it was the Hornets. I mean,
Yeah.
my bad. The Magic and the Hornets.
Yeah.
Which have neither of which have been good teams as of late.
Paolo
You
game
lost to
winner.
them because your defense has been ridiculous. Yeah, you let Paolo
You're gonna
game
get it
you.
off.
Paolo went 4 for 17 for the game, but then you hit the game winner. Listen, you shine when it matters.
Do what
Good
you do,
job.
Paolo.
And yeah, if they bench Chris Paul and get some lineup balance and put some more defense on the court and don't have De'Aaron Fox playing shooting guard for the first time in his career, well, I guess he did it next to Tyrese Halliburton for a little bit, but The team can make sense. Currently, it doesn't, and I don't like it.
They have some insistence and some just something is in their brain of like, yo, Wemby's so good. What if we make things harder? on him?
Yeah.
Like at every turn last year.
What if we were dumb on purpose?
They see him doing 10
exactly.
push-ups. Let me add a 20 pound break on your back. See how many more you can do.
It's like you did the thing. You went out and you were aggressive and you got De'Aaron Fox. Why are you moving like this?
Here's a
Why?
new position for you.
Exactly. Exactly. And so like it took a while to figure out, you know, like
Look at that
when
defense from Chris Paul.
is awful,
What the
man.
fuck is wrong with you,
Look
bro?
at this defense.
You know how mad I would be if
miss
I was
this.
Wemby, bro? Hey! I was nowhere near close. What the fuck?
Verticality. Yeah, so
Shout out Chris. Old man tricks.
you think they could be good? I like Chris Paul a lot in a bench role. And again, it's always a
That's where he
politics thing.
shined. He's 30. He's old. He's
Yeah.
old. He
39,
can't
yeah.
be a starting point guard like that at this time.
The Phoenix Suns are in the same predicament. They promised Tyus Jones a starting spot, and Tyus Jones is one of the worst starters in the league right now. Which we didn't even talk about them, but wait, Donovan, you have them higher? Oh no, you got them lower, right? The Phoenix Suns.
No, I guess I had.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
You got them higher?
I guess I
Oh, that's crazy. But yeah, the Phoenix Suns suck really bad because they start Tyus Jones because they promised him a starting spot to come sign with them for the minimum, and he's been atrocious for them. This is clearly a theme of politics impacting roster decisions. I hope the Spurs over time adjust and decide not to start him full time. In that case, I think they'll look decent, and I'll be one to move them higher. But I'd like to see it first.
That's what I'm doing when it comes to the projection thing. I believe that there's no way in hell you add someone like De'Aaron Fox to your roster just to continuously sit on your hands and not make the actual coaching changes as well. Like, eventually those things have to align. Eventually you have to put the politics aside and be like, okay, like we have a real chance to get Wemby his first bit of some level of playoff experience through the play-in. And times like this is crucial when it comes to development. Like, you want him to have his fuck-ups early, not when he's like 27, 28, 29 years old. And I'm just hoping and praying that they realize that, and that's why I have him like just a slight tier higher.
Yeah, and I see some Spurs fans defend it. They like having the multiple ball handlers out there and like playing less traditional. You're just not going to have a good defense, though, with these two. And I think you need a good defense for this team because either way, the firepower is not going to be great. So I think you need to have a defensive identity. I would certainly start Sohan or Castle.
Yeah, it's too much to put on Wemby to fix the entire defense when you have those two guys. So
Yeah.
I do agree.
Okay, I guess that's enough for this tier. Some of the teams left, like you have Detroit at 16. We have them a little bit higher. We'll talk about them in the next section.
Yeah.
We can move on. Donovan or Mo, who's your 15 through 11?
Ooh, I had Detroit just a little bit higher. I have Detroit at 15. 14, I got the Spurs. 13, I have the Clippers. 12, Indiana. And 11, I got the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Detroit is interesting. I think this is probably the right tier for them. They're just so competent. Like they just keep on going. They're above 500 now. They're continuing to rise up. I think are they the 5 seed right now or are they 6?
I think there's 6 as we speak.
They
I
are
could be
currently
wrong.
they're 6 right now.
Look at them.
They're one
Yeah.
game behind the Bucks for the 5 seed, and one team is trending in one direction, and it's not the Pistons. So they could very well end up with the 5 seed at this rate.
Yeah, I could easily bump up the Detroit Pistons just a little bit. Maybe you could swap them with the Los Angeles Clippers or really like the San Antonio Spurs. But my belief in Wemby and Fox is just like that high compared to the Detroit Pistons maintaining a level of stability. And in this case scenario specifically, like we're gonna see them rise up in the standings because not Wemby, but Giannis is out right now. But I like Detroit. I love them. I think they're the perfect like 15th seed or ranking in the NBA right now. Cade is still doing Cade things. Malik Beasley is over here being the greatest 3-point shooter in Pistons history. Take that for whatever what you will. Their identity is here.
Is he actually like currently like they're like
In the season, my bad.
That's I figured you missed something like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Shout out Jalen Duren, who's coming alive offensively at least. Defense still a work in progress, but in the last 15 games, 15 points, 12 assists. 12 assists, Jesus, 12 rebounds. He's up from about 10.5 points for the season. A lot more aggressive. He had a comment in the media that was quite funny where he basically was like, yo, I was playing bitch made the first 25 games. But now I got my shit together. I'm being aggressive. It was so candid. I love to hear it. You can definitely see that. He's definitely been more of that athletic force down low that you expect. Hope it sticks. Hope the defense sticks too. But shout out Detroit.
Yeah, competent basketball.
Let's move on to show Donovan's.
We love them. All right. At 15, I have the Orlando Magic.
Ooh.
At 14, I have the Suns, which at this point, I will say, I'm taking this back. Oops.
Ooh,
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of those cases where it's like, yeah, I should have moved them back down.
Yeah.
I didn't reshuffle. At 13, I have the Timberwolves. 12, I have the Clippers, and at 11, I have the Golden State Warriors.
Okay, I have multiple gripes with this, but I think the biggest one might reside in Golden State. Do you have them a tier higher?
No.
Oh.
I mean, maybe it's
Slightly
Maybe
bottom.
slightly.
no. I think I have them around the same place. I'll just reveal mine. Let's talk about everybody's. I have 15 Sacramento, 14 Detroit, 13 Indiana, 12 Golden State, 11 Clippers.
Okay.
Okay, let's.
Ooh.
right,
We're all over the
I'll
place
say-
in
Wait,
Wait,
Minnesota.
did you have
seriously.
Golden State a tier higher?
Yeah, I do.
So,
Not
you have
too
them,
high.
You have them
but-
enough higher that you're upset about it?
Yeah, because I think this is
Oh,
that much
shit.
of a different team.
Oh,
Okay,
shit, okay.
I'll say this with the Warriors. Yes, they are better. They still like have some stuff to work out, and I think that like their ceiling is good, but like they're not gonna like when we start talking about the top 10 teams or the top 8 teams in the league. Those are teams that I can legitimately see winning a playoff series. I still don't know currently constructed if I see the Warriors winning a playoff series. I think that Steph has looked better now that he has Jimmy Butler, and like he just had like 38 the other night. But
It's only 2 games.
yeah, but like also in that first game, and if you want to say that it's take some time, I know that they came back, but they were also down a lot to the Chicago Bulls, and there's some stuff that has to happen. So I'm not 100% sold on Golden State. I do want to see it for a little bit longer, but listen, adding Jimmy Butler, if we did this before the Jimmy Butler trade, they would have been like 20. So I think
For sure.
I think moving them up to like 11 is like, hey, shout out to you guys.
Maybe I'm just a little bit. I got like so giddy about what
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler was able to do for this team, and I'm definitely projecting in terms of where I think they'll finish out towards the end of the year, because I think this Jimmy Butler's addition just makes the team so much better. If you were tapped into the TD3 stream on Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern time, tap in. We touched on Jimmy Butler in his debut just a little bit, talked about how, clear as day, he is an interior presence, not necessarily a force, but he's a presence because he knows how to get to that fucking paint and get to the line, which opens up a myriad of avenues for his team to get buckets that they're just not used to, which is free throw line buckets. And Jimmy Butler the other night, I think he got like 10, 11 free throws or whatever, and this team was just not used to having this amount of just like this myriad of ways to get buckets. And so this helps your team get advantages earlier in the game when you have someone like Jimmy Butler. And also, like, this has made Steph Curry's life so much easier because not all the intention is on him. So seeing that, I'm like, yo, this team just got so much better. Of course, it's like late in the season. They sold their season already, but I think they're really going to lock in. One thing I did overblow a little bit was that I remember we talked about it. I was worried about the spacing for this team. I was like, yo, Jimmy Butler takes less free throw attempts over the last like 3-4 years than Draymond Green. That is a real issue. Of course. Yeah, 3-point attempts. Right. That is a real issue. And it would be an issue for like every other team except for this one because of how they lay everyone on offensively and how, Steph Curry is like the engine of it. So there's just never going to be a moment in time where the spacing is really mucked up. And that's proven to be the case.
Yeah. Jimmy Butler will undoubtedly make them a lot better. Like Donovan said, us putting them in the top 12 is an indictment on that. I feel really good about his interior scoring, like you said. Really good about the free throw drawing he finally brings them, since they've been bottom of the league in free throws for the last several years, and their fans love to cry about it. They love to let everybody know they suck at drawing free throws, and it's a conspiracy against them because the league hates Golden State.
Yeah.
Whatever. But Jimmy Butler makes a big difference there. I would feel a lot better about this team if they had also made a deal to trade Gary Payton's salary plus Looney or whatever necessary to get a starting shooting guard of two-way caliber. Shout out Buddy Hield. I hope he shoots really well for them, and I hope it really brings the fit together. Obviously, I do not want Buddy Hield on the court full-time starter minutes in a playoff setting for the defense. Maybe they can do Moses Moody there. They seem to like to play Moses Moody as a power fucking forward, so I don't know if they're going to do that. We'll see what it looks like when Kuminga's in the lineup. Maybe that kind of shifts everything around in a weird way. Shout out Quentin Post.
Yes.
If Quentin Post can hold up defensively, the ceiling is high. Finally having a stretch big next to Jimmy Butler and next to Kuminga will be important. I'll reserve judgment, though. I want to see it for longer. I want to get a better feel for him.
Yeah.
I don't have a good
Quentin-
feel for now how good of a defender he'll be and how much he'll hold up in a playoff setting.
Yeah.
That's a deciding factor to me.
To me, I don't I love Quentin Post. He gives them an entirely different look that they haven't had the ability to have in this Draymond and Steph era, and having a stretch big is that much more important.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a stretch big who struggles, to me, with the games that I've watched. He struggles on the boards, struggles with physicality, but what makes him ultra valuable and what like oversees everything, because you have Draymond, Jimmy, and just a great defensive attitude and mindset and scheme, is that he's been hitting his 3-pointers. If he continuously does that, then like I just don't see how this team cannot
and it's like
find success.
They will find success, and they will find more success, but I still do think that there are a lot more questions that they need answered, especially because now that you brought Jimmy in, your team has reshuffled a little bit. So now a couple of roles do have to be redefined a little bit. You need to figure those out, lock those things down, and then maybe whenever we talk about playoffs, then I could feel a little bit more comfortable talking about you winning a playoff series. Again, the fact that they are this high for me is purely off of the fact that you have Steph Curry. All of the offensive burden isn't on him. And clearly we've seen in just 2 games it's been very helpful. And if Steph does start to get hot and teams are like, okay, we're going to go and we're going to double Curry. Now you have Jimmy Butler who can create for himself, who can have enough playmaking for that team. And when you have him and Draymond, right, doing stuff on the 4-on-3, that's great. That's exactly what you want to see. So they have a good upside, but I still am kind of worried. I'm not boosting them up too high too quickly.
Yeah, if you're right in their top 10, that wouldn't shock me too much, I guess. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give them more than 2 games because they have more flaws outside of Jimmy Butler. I've always been high on Jimmy Butler, just like him as a potential target. All season when we've been talking about players you want to trade for, I've been just banging the Jimmy Butler drum. And through 2 games, I think we've seen what I expected. But I just don't want to get ahead of myself yet. Yeah. I want to insulate.
Okay. I'll do your work for you. I'm going ahead of myself. And right now, I do believe that they can win a playoff series wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I think that might. So could the Clippers. They're 11 to me.
For me, that might be their ceiling, their absolute ceiling. A lot of things will have to.
Well, it's matchup based. I mean,
I think that is their ceiling, but I don't know if I would have them as the favorites in any matchup that they go into.
Like you're saying there's 8 teams that you'll for sure pick over them?
Nah, I can't say that. I would say there's maybe 4 teams
not
that I'll
teams,
for sure pick over
4
them,
teams. But. If they got into the actual playoff and they're in the bottom half, because they're not getting home court.
You don't think they could beat the Grizzlies or Rockets, the 2 of the weaker upper seeds?
I wouldn't have them as the favorites going into those series.
Wow.
Maybe against the Rockets. I feel like they have Draymond offers quite the hard problem for the Rockets offense to solve. So maybe them, but I don't know if I'd say favorites either. So we'll see.
Yes. The other team though, and what you just said is you don't want to get your hopes up too quickly. That's how I feel about Minnesota at 13 because they've shown some life, and I had officially written them off months ago, and they played well even before Julius Randle got hurt.
Yeah,
they were winning games.
They won 4 straight.
Yeah,
they've actually been worse with him since he got injured. They're to 3-3 or something like that since he went out. So they were better with him on the court so far.
Yeah, and so that is something that I was not prepared to see from them, but I don't know. For me personally, it's going to take a lot for me to kind of buy back in on them. So that's why I'm still being worried. But they have been playing a lot better. They have been good. So
they're undoubtedly top 10. Last 10 games are 5th in offense and 5th in defense. Anthony Edwards has had 3 40-point games in the last 6 games.
Dude, over the last 20 games, he's averaged 32, 6, and 5, and he's shooting 44% from the 3-point line. He just became the best 3-point shooter in the NBA.
He is absolutely unstoppable. Early in the season, people were kind of giving us shit a little bit because we still ranked him top 10 despite the team struggling and there being some perceived slump or whatever. And we were like, shut the fuck up. He is shooting 44% from 3. Once everything gets figured out with the spacing and they acclimate to Julius Randle, this is so clearly a guy who didn't forget how to score at the rim, didn't forget how to do these other things, that once it comes back together and the offense is more fluid and he adds his jump shot into things, he's going to be a monster. And that's what we've seen over his last 15 games. He is hitting the best stretch of his career, I think, as a scorer at least. Team is still not as amazing as they were last year, but they're definitely, to me, the 10th best team in the league. I think that's where I have them. We can move on to the top 10. Spoiler alert.
Mm-hmm.
They should be in this range, I think.
Okay. So, for me, at 10, I have the Indiana Pacers. at
Ew.
at 9. I mean, you had them at like 12. So, like,
Ew, still.
I have the Pacers at
We live
10.
and die by these tier differences. I don't know if you understand. 12 and 10 is a big difference.
I have the Rockets at 9. I have the Bucks at 8. I have the Grizzlies at 7. I have the Knicks at 6.
Okay. Yeah, I have Indiana a little bit lower, but whatever. Other than that, I mean, you have Milwaukee pretty high, who's been
Reeling.
they've been reeling. Giannis has been hurt for a little bit now. I don't remember exactly how many games.
That's
he
why
missed.
I'm giving them
I think
a little
2 or
bit
3.
of
So
credit
Giannis
for
missed the
them.
last 5 games. Before he went out, they had lost 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So they were already looking pretty terrible. They have since made their all-in move for the season, acquiring Kyle Kuzma, who has scored efficiently in this couple games. Has not impressed me per se in terms of like the dynamic he brings, but we haven't seen with Giannis
What
yet.
would it
So
take to be impressed by Kuzma?
2020 level defense and like really being a lockdown wing defender, which lockdown's extreme. He's never that, but like a really capable wing defender.
The things that's impressed me about Kyle Kuzma so far, which I can't believe those words that came out of my mouth. This is me being like ultra positive and optimistic. Is like he plays at one pace, which is like generally not good in the NBA, but he plays fast, and that's what this team needed.
Yeah, that's why they
need
did it.
athleticism and all that. And one thing that Kyle Kuzma has, which just doesn't make any sense, but also when you think about the human mind, it makes sense. He has the respect of being a 3-point threat. He's not necessarily hitting them bitches. Hasn't been in them for a few years, but he has the respect like he is in them bitches.
Because he shoots real fast. It goes up immediately, but defense is like, oh shit.
Yeah,
But no, he's been slashing well, which is a Kyle Kuzma thing he's typically good at. So good, that's good. We'll see how it looks with Giannis. Too early to have an opinion on Kuzma either way.
Mhm.
I just, in general, don't love that as an all-in move just because I don't think it necessarily solves their like lack of dynamic playmakers around their 2-star players. I would have loved to see someone a little more passing juice in that role, but we'll see. Maybe they prove me wrong. They added Kevin Porter Jr. to the team, which is the ultimate cry for help I've ever seen. I
That's
can't
so fucking
imagine
crazy.
more of a red flag where teams like, we'll take anybody young. It doesn't matter if they're terrible. We'll just take anybody with youth, please.
Not terrible player, terrible person.
Both. Double homicide. He's just been bad guy, bad player. Don't love that. They just don't have positive momentum right now. I originally had him at 11. I put him up to 10. I think I can reveal mine next. Because I was just like, they'll look better when they're healthy and they're an old team. They need the All-Star break.
That's
They'll
how
probably
that's
look
how I
better.
feel about them,
But I still feel like I'm being generous because they have not looked great as of late.
and that is okay. And yeah, that's okay. I just think that like when you have Giannis and Dame, it's fine, and especially when you look at them through the context of the Eastern Conference, and like you have Cleveland, you have Boston, and then it's them and the Knicks. Like I think that even in a series, as great as the Knicks offense is, the Bucks still have the best player in the series.
Yeah,
And so,
that's the ultimatum.
And so thinking about like projecting them forward, projecting their potential playoff success, I do think that there is a ceiling for them, whereas some of the other teams out east or even in the West may not necessarily be there. So that's why I'm putting them at 8.
At 10, I have the Bucks. 9, I have Minnesota. 8, Houston. 7, Memphis. 6, New York. Not a huge difference. You just basically, if you slide Milwaukee down your list, we're pretty similar except for your Indiana love.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Minnesota's just good again, and I don't think they have have it in them to be top 5 like they were last year. Just as I think Gobert's taking a step back, and they just don't have the firepower they once did. But the vision you have when they traded Cat for why they might win with depth and why things might be fine, why they can do a lot of the looks they had last year, just minus Cat with Naz Reid stepping in, with Nickeil Alexander-Walker stepping in, taking a bigger role. That's largely what it's been as of late, I think. Plus with with Anthony Edwards scoring out of his mind, which maybe you can say is unsustainable. Maybe he'll cool down a little bit, which is probably true. I just feel good about their momentum going forward.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. All the T-Wolves fans right now have to be happy as hell. They finally started giving someone like Rob Dillingham minutes because they're kind of forced because they lost him. The loss. What's that dude's name? Dante DiVincenzo. But
when is he coming back? Is he done for this?
I don't think he's done for the season.
Finger?
But
He's like that. Where you gotta.
he's been that like.
Who is it?
Bro,
Dante DiVincenzo.
He shot like 8 threes a game last year, and he was like lights out. And this year he hasn't been on none, so it's kind of like that now for him. But seeing them deploy Rob Dillingham has also been super encouraging because he is the juice. He is the I don't want to say missing piece whatsoever, but he helps elevate all these teams' offensive woes in terms of Anthony Edwards handling so much on his own. He hasn't been doing too much. I think over these last 10, 15 games, he's just averaging 7 points or whatnot. But those 7 points do alleviate a lot. Those 15 minutes that he's getting a game right now does mean a lot.
Yes.
DiVincenzo will be evaluated after the All-Star break, it sounds like. On the 25th, it's reported he'll be reevaluated in 3 weeks, which is coming up. So hopefully we hear about it soon. But yeah, him coming back would be an even better boost to this.
Yeah, exactly. So I love the fact that you have him higher. Initially I was a little bit too low on them, and before I finalized my list, I'm like, okay, I need to put him higher because when Anthony Edwards is going supernova, I'm waiting to put them top 10. I want to so bad, but I don't know how they'll fare off in the playoffs, and I'm just not gonna jump ahead of myself too much like I did for the Warriors in this case. So you can roll into my next 5. So at number 10, I have Milwaukee. 9, Houston. 8, I have the Golden State Warriors. 7, the New York Knicks. Why? Because fuck the Knicks. That's why. I don't have to explain that.
Okay.
And at number 6, I have the Memphis Grizzlies.
I'm kind of worried about the Memphis Grizzlies a little bit.
I'm glad you said that sentence with the exact words, because I was literally thinking, can we have that conversation? Because I kind of am too.
I agree.
About a month ago, I soft launched the fact. When would we have this conversation?
I think it was like 2 weeks or something.
It was about a month ago. I forget what episode it was. Maybe it was like one question every team has to answer. And my question for them was like, will the real John Morant please stand up? Like, where has he been at? And I was talking, the question specifically was, can they find a way to get the best of him in this new offense? This very low volume of pick and roll offense, which is how Ja's been at his best, running pick and roll. They spread the ball. They do a lot of driving, attacking closeouts. Everybody on the court has to be able to drive. They do a lot of like offensive rotations, like a college team where they fill spaces and play this real free-flowing 2014 Spurs style. And there hasn't been a second this season in which John Morant has looked like himself, because he's kind of turned into a role player in this system. He's very talented, obviously, so he's still getting his 20 points per game, but he's just another guy, not the guy in the system, because they don't want to make anybody the guy. And it's working for a regular season perspective. I worry that if you're not going to get the best version of Ja, you're going to enter a situation where you enter a second-round playoff series against one of the best teams in the league, and you're facing Luka Doncic on the other side, LeBron James on the other side. At the end of the game, you're going to have to say, shit, let's go attack these closeouts, Santi Aldama. Jaren Jackson, you better create an isolation bucket, because we're having Jared Vanderbilt switch onto you, and we're sitting on these drives. We're making it so your best players have to beat us right now, and you better go band for band with Luka Doncic and LeBron, band for band with Jokic. And if Ja isn't in a flow state for an entire season, for an entire playoff run, where he can make those plays in the late game, and Jaren's going to be your go-to guy, or neither, that worries me for the playoffs.
Guys, I think Taylor Jenkins' time has come. I
don't know, because like it's kind of smart to not put your eggs in the John Morant basket for all the health reasons, for all the other reasons. I understand why they want to be more free-flowing and not play through him. I just don't know if it's going to work in the playoffs. But then again, it works in the regular season so well. It's not a terrible bet. I don't know.
Well, I think this is the interesting question of like, when you have a John Morant on your team and you have a player who can reach a certain ceiling, do you coach to find a high floor, or do you coach to find a high ceiling? Because the high ceiling obviously would be to make the offense more Ja dominant. That way, whenever you get into the playoffs, like the game against the game against the Knicks, like it was very interesting. Like they got destroyed, and one of the things was like you've seen the very clear blueprint to beat the Knicks, which is like Brunson come here, Cat come here. We're just gonna attack you that way, but that's not necessarily how the Grizzlies play. Yeah. And so when you get into playoff series and we get to the last 5 minutes, what do teams do? You come here, you come here.
Yeah.
We're going to put your worst player in the action, and they're going to have to step up. If the Grizzlies don't want to do that, and Ja and his athleticism isn't there, then I'm not sure how it's going to work. And so, like, you've coached for this entire floor to get you to this point, but now you don't have the switch to activate to get there. Yeah. And that's what I'm kind of worried about.
And it's a similar discourse to the Rockets, where we can acknowledge they're a fantastic team. Jaren Jackson is an amazing player right now. It's working incredibly well. There are certain play styles that we know are different and work less well or more well in a playoff setting. It's a different game, obviously. Whenever you're game planning for a team, you can take away some of the cute shit, some of the drives and all this. It's just a very cute offense, I think, is the way to put it. Mm-hmm. It's like the way that old heads used to talk about the Golden State Warriors and all the frilly stuff they did, Spurs, jump shooting team, as if you could just like fucking pull your shorts up and make it so they can't do this. That wasn't the case for them. I think that is the case for the Memphis Grizzlies. I think it is some cute shit that in a playoff setting, a smart defense can hone in on over a 7-game series.
Yeah. In my mind, to answer your question earlier, what do you lean towards? putting all the stock into your star, or give yourself a little bit more of like a consistent ceiling with just playing more of a fair field offense. For me personally, it's all about how do you want to go out? Do you want to go out with your star shooting like 12 shots a game and not really being himself, or putting all the cachet into your star and letting him like go out shooting his shit off, like letting him go out putting up 20, 22 shots or
it's
whatever.
It's the Deion Waiters parable.
And to me, I very much rather go that way. How do you want to go out? I want to go out with respect. I want to go out letting my people know, letting my fans know, like, yo, I gave it all they got. My guy, the franchise player, gave it all he got at this moment in time. And all we can do is figure out ways to elevate, and he needs to figure out ways to elevate. Like, as much as I love how they've been playing, 2014 Spurs ball or whatever, they're just not that. They're talented and they're one of the deeper teams in the NBA, but there's levels to it when you compare themselves to like one of those historic teams, and they're just not that yet. So I'm like, they need to revert back to this.
But
this
you
jaw
also
type
like
ball.
play 2014 ball when you have like Tim Duncan anchoring.
Exactly.
When you have Tim Duncan anchoring the defense, when you have Kawhi Leonard stepping up and him being like legitimately
respect Jaren
great
Jackson Jr.
to Tim Duncan level, even at like age 38, probably not. But like when everybody's stepping up to their absolute max. Yeah, it can work. And when you have Hall of Famers after Hall of Famer, that team had 5 Hall of Famers in the starting lineup and arguably the greatest coach of all time. Yeah, I trust them to do that. But the Grizzlies haven't been out the second round. They haven't been in a position to win a second round series. So I'm very curious to see how they go. And it's clearly going to be very, very matchup dependent. Mm-hmm. And so like if the Rockets and Grizzlies end up in the 2-3 and they both win their first round matchup, do you think that Memphis has enough to beat Houston, who we all have, or not like we all, but like
yes, I mean, but you name the one other team that has similar issues and similar firepower constraints, so like probably. But if it's the Nuggets,
that's what I'm saying. That's the only way where I can be like, okay, maybe Memphis can get to the conference finals right now in terms of my belief in them. They're going to have to play the other flawed team out west.
Yeah.
They have to go like Sacramento, Houston
to get the best look possible, basically.
Yeah. But again, and that's what it feels like. We could be wrong. They're a very good team. So maybe this stuff will translate more than we think. I'm not eliminating that outcome. I still rank them number 7. So I'm not saying they're frauds or anything.
Yeah.
But I'm worried. I'm more worried than I should be for a team of their regular season caliber. And that sucks. I don't remember who said it, but I saw a tweet after Luka Doncic was traded that they said something along the lines of, I guarantee you the next star to get rug pulled like this and backdoored out of the team is Ja Morant.
No way.
They were like,
no.
They were like, it's not a matter of if, to me, it's when.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't be surprising at all.
Nah.
At this point, no.
Let me divert attention real quick. To me, the next star to get rug pulled like that is going to be someone like LaMelo Ball, because he has similar situations as Luka Doncic. You have a whole new regime, whole new front office, whole new coach. You are not their guy. I can easily see a situation, like people already have skepticisms that are fair to me about him as a player. To me, this is like me soft launching my next hard push of what I want to see happen. The Houston Rockets, please make that fucking happen. Unload the clip or whatever it takes to go ahead and land LaMelo Ball alongside.
Ime Udoka wants to coach LaMelo Ball?
Okay, Amen can't go anywhere. He has to say, but the Jalen Greens of the world, whatever, a pick 2, whatever it will cost, I'm sure it won't be that expensive because his value is low. I would make that happen. If you could buy low on him, make that happen, Houston.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
In theory, you're right. I think Amen Thompson would be a great player to play with LaMelo and help him out. I don't know if Ime Udoka wants to see that. I don't know if that's in his blood to deal with LaMelo Ball type of player. But in theory, Amen Thompson would cover a lot of the weaknesses LaMelo has.
I would love that.
I'd like to see him with a good coach with structure like that too. So I mean, it could be cool, but it's a risk. It's a big risk that I don't know if they want to take.
But going back to topic at hand, you really think Ja Morant might get backdoored? That makes me so
He
sad.
might.
I don't know if I think that, but I saw a tweet and I was like, that makes sense. Like
the stuff that they said about Luka, and obviously like not like the big and fat because like Ja's very skinny or whatever, but like they like
not the obesity of it all, but outside of that,
no, but of like he's not reliable. We think his Achilles is gonna pop any day. That type of stuff. Ja Morant actually does not play on a very consistent basis. Ja Morant all season long has not played 6 consecutive games.
That's insane.
If you think that you are going to have one playoff series that is relatively competitive, he hasn't been able to do that in the regular season.
Mm.
And so if you get into the second round, right? Let's say you end up winning your first round matchup. The second round is every other night. Is Ja Morant going to be able to be there? I don't know. And I think that that's a very valuable question. And so then the question that I asked before of, do you coach to your floor or to your ceiling? Well, if your ceiling is for a guy that isn't going to be there, maybe you do have to rethink everything that you're doing. And now Ja could be out of there.
We'll see. But again, as far as this ranking goes in current day, they're worthy of the 7th spot, but you give less confidence than you would with most 7 spots teams, I think.
Yes.
And they also have like they have like the 5th best record. So I think we put them below a team like the Knicks, who I think they're outpacing. I don't know. The Knicks I also don't feel too great about, just because all the reasons we said whenever they got Karl-Anthony Towns.
Yeah, like their ceiling is eventually inevitable. I think we kind of see the writing on the wall.
The writing I see is they can be anybody but the Celtics. The Celtics are going to knock their fucking doors off. And they got to just pray that the Cleveland Cavaliers take care of them.
I hate the Celtics so much. They embarrass us every time on national TV. I hate it.
This team is, we said it the second they acquired Cat.
Yes.
This makes you better. You need a big, okay. There is not a chance in hell a Karl-Anthony Towns anchored rim defense will be able to defend the Celtics in any way. They are getting just back shots from the Celtics. And that's been the case every time they matched up. In a series that will not go well, and you cannot avoid the Celtics unless injuries happen. So I can only feel so good about the Knicks.
Cleveland, I am praying y'all are for real, because like that's.
But they're the 1 seed, so they're only going to see the Celtics in the fucking conference finals. So.
Yeah, exactly.
So who am I banking?
You're banking on Jason Tatum gets injured, and you have to pray on the downfall of health for the Celtics.
And Jason Tatum never gets injured. So
Ever,
you're basically fucked.
Ever.
He's Iron Man.
It's a wrap.
Against most other matchups, I love what Josh Hart's doing. I just posted a most underrated players in the league this year episode on Project 94, and I put Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson on there. I think they're exceptional. It doesn't matter if Jason Tatum and Derek White and Jaylen Brown walk through those doors.
Yeah, they're the kings of like, you come here, you
and
come
look at
here,
the Cavs. Cat's been great. Cat's been awesome. I do not want to see him have to contend with Evan Mobley and Jared Allen with a bunch of 6'4" people next to him.
You're asking him to get jumped.
We'll see about that, but
that one there's at least a chance that maybe they can figure some matchup stuff out, strike another big.
The Celtics stuff is cooked right now.
But okay, we can move on to the top 5 teams in the league right now. We'll reveal them all at once because our lists are relatively similar. At 5, I have the Lakers. 4, I have Denver. 3, I have Boston. 2, I have Cleveland. 1, I have OKC.
Ooh, okay. At 5, I have 5, I have LA. 4, Denver. 3, Cleveland. 2, Boston. 1 OKC.
And I have the exact same list.
Yeah, and clearly the only difference here between them is I rank Cleveland above Boston, and that's because I want to treat it like an actual power ranking. And Cleveland has been much better all year, so they deserve it.
The head-to-head doesn't scare you at all?
Yeah, I don't think you should factor head-to-head at all in this list. In a power ranking, why would this is about what they've done this season, their individual equity as a championship player, and I think Boston probably has advantage that they win head-to-head, but I think a power ranking, the spirit of it is you grade who they are as a team, what they've shown you, and if you do head-to-head with a lot of this, that would influence a lot of
they're obviously the top 2 teams in the East. They're obviously both great, inner circle contenders.
If this
the tiebreaker would be head-to-head.
Tiebreaker to me is how good you've been in the regular season, what you've shown me so far, and they've just been consistently much better, and they've earned it. I don't view power ranking as like strictly predictions for the playoffs.
No, it's not even. Yeah. It's not even predictions.
I know what you're saying,
but like even in a vacuum, you're talking about like who's better. And
Cleveland's been undoubtedly better. I think for the playoffs, in the same way we think someone like Memphis will. We don't see them maintaining it. We see Boston elevating because they have championship equity, and we think they can play above the level they've shown. They'll be healthy and whatnot. So I understand. For a power ranking, I err towards the side of what have you proved to me, and Cleveland has. Again, for a power ranking, I feel like we'd be disrespectful to put Cleveland below 2.
Now, I can understand your point of view when it comes to how you are like regulating the bottom, like the tippy top of the power rankings. I just view it as like if you want to be number 1, you have to have a certain level of like prove it. Show me, and that's where things get a little bit more stickier.
What if they're not showing you? They've been the most dominant team in the conference by far. They're like 5.5 games ahead of Boston.
You're right.
Except whenever they played the other team in their conference.
That's the thing where I'm like, I have extra qualifications over you.
I don't understand why that would have more bearing than everything else for the entirety of the season for a power ranking.
because these two teams are that close together. They are both super, super good.
But they're not that close together in terms of like regular season production so far. Cleveland has been much better and much more productive. Like, I'd understand if they had the same record. If they had the same record, I would agree with you. They, for the entirety of the season, have been just dominating. We had like a week where we're like, oh, they're slowing down because they lost twice. Like, Cleveland has been absolutely dominant. And again, it's a bit inconsistent because sometimes we factor in playoffs and that's part of it. But when you're the most dominant team in the conference, you deserve to be number 2, I think.
So you would have them as the favorites in the series against the Celtics to get to the finals?
You know that's literally not what I just said. I just said the complete opposite of that. I just told you that that's not true, but I'm not using that as a disqualifier. I'm erring towards provenness and regular season production for a power ranking more than that. I said something, I said I'm explicitly not thinking that. And you were like, so you think that?
I think that's I think doing that and not having regular season head to head in the tiebreaker, like
it's not a tie. They're 5.5 games better.
I think
something else to use against you that you said earlier is that that's something
fine.
that you also use to gauge how a traditional power ranking is through your logic is you also pay attention to how these teams have been over the last 15 games. There is no gap, no space between these two over the last 15 games whatsoever. They have the exact same record. And with that in mind, also on top of like how I seen these two duke it out for this number 2 spot, that's what lead me to put Boston over the top. Now, if we're talking about like
that's a good
20
argument.
games ago or whatever it is, you got it because Cleveland will send the world on fire. But they haven't been setting the world on fire over the last 15 and even 20 games anymore because, Evan Mobley been out the roster. We seem to get their ass beat by the Houston Rockets or whatever. It is what it is, health injuries, whatever it is. But over the last 15 games specifically, they haven't been as head and toes as you would like them to be over the entirety of the season.
That I can understand. That's a better argument to me. If you get into the regular season head-to-head thing, factoring that in, like that would make you. I understand why you think about that more for the top of the list, but if that matters to you, you'd have to apply that to a lot of areas on the list that would get dicey. So again, we're not gauging who we think are the best teams like entirely for the future. A power ranking, you're gauging what they've done this season. So I'm not going to look at the 3 games against Boston as an important indicative factor when we're gauging 45 games. But the last 15 games is a good argument. So if you want to go there and you say we're doing off recency and what they've done, then that's fair.
Now, again, with that being
that makes
said,
more sense for power rankings.
Health has been like a big part of the reason, not a big part of the reason why, but like Evan Mobley's been in and out or whatever it is. So I'm leaning towards Boston at the end of the day.
No, because it's like because we're doing power rankings for the entire year, and so like if you are looking at the last 15 games as the entire season, then
I'm not. I'm saying it's okay if that's the logic you want to use and say power ranking is what you are right now. I didn't do that. I'm saying if that's an argument you want to use against me because I did that elsewhere, I understand. But I'm clearly not doing that. I'm still going Cleveland. So like don't
like
judge me
just
on
like
his
how
basis.
just like how our things got muddier towards the end of the power rankings when it comes to how teams perform overall. Like there are just some things that just didn't necessarily. The last 15 games didn't matter for him as much compared to how we view it right now.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's a good argument. That you using that argument against me makes sense. I don't buy the head-to-head argument for a power ranking, but that's fair. But like, yeah, there's a lot of these. I think that if we did head-to-head matchup, you wouldn't necessarily go with the team in that order. If you look,
Like,
I don't know.
Like
when it
which
comes to the
ones?
Los Angeles Lakers, we don't believe that shit at all.
Like which
We don't
ones?
believe that at all.
I don't know. Let's scroll through. Let's
Let's talk
do
about
that.
the Lakers.
Did you do that for your entire list? You use head-to-head as like a tiebreaker?
I don't think
I don't
think that anybody is as close as like Cleveland and Boston.
That's
Okay.
very fair. That's very fair.
Okay, I guess that's okay. If you think they're just the closest on this entire list, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know that I think that because I'm viewing it more regular season based than you guys are just in general. So that's probably why that I'm just like Cleveland for the entire season has been nothing but the most dominant team in the league in their conference. I don't know why I wouldn't give it to them.
Yeah, that's fair. But again, like power ranking, how they've been doing as of late. And then on top of that, to add another caveat, which is like how you've been over the last whatever games. And that's why teams like the Denver Nuggets, they soared up. I think they're They're on like a 7-game win streak. Don't look at who they played. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they played the New Orleans Pelicans twice. Doesn't matter if they played the Charlotte Hornets. I'm not looking at that.
Strength of schedule doesn't matter. Stop asking about it.
Exactly. And then also there's another reason why we put LA up there as well, because as of late, again, don't look at who they played. Don't look at
we gotta talk
what
about
they've
that. We
done.
ignored that.
But yo, they are here for a reason, and we are projecting like a motherfucker.
How could we not? We've seen one game where their team is entirely different. Like, how could we not? Like, we can't even necessarily do the, like, what have you shown me? Because it's an entirely different team. But if you want to do that and you want to call us Lakers Glazers, that's fine. If we actually look at what they've done over the recent weeks, they've been top 5 in defense for a long time now without Anthony Davis. Since Jared Vanderbilt came back, they're starting to play that switchy defense that JJ Redick started the season wanting to do. He just couldn't do it because you're not getting the best out of Anthony Davis defending that way. He suddenly has the exact small ball team he wants to switch everything, have 3 insane dynamic creators. Everything makes sense now, adding Luka into the system that we're already playing without Anthony Davis. I think there's enough positive momentum. There's enough glove in hand fit. I think there's enough talent around them that complements it. Even without Mark Williams, if Mark Williams was there and healthy, I would have put them above Denver. But the center rotation does suck, so we can't be out here saying they're better than the best player in the world, Denver Nuggets, who are fitting. If you want to say the center rotation holds them back even further, go for it. But I'm not necessarily that threatened by the Knicks. I'm not that threatened by the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm not that threatened by the Houston Rockets. I feel like we can still give the nudge to the top 3 player in the world with maybe the best second option in the league in LeBron James, and a good, so far, competent defense around them. We'll see if it holds up. 5 to me doesn't feel like a reach.
It's not at all. You put them up there for a reason, Donovan, too.
Did it hurt?
I mean, obviously, because I don't like them, but like it didn't. They could have played the Jazz. They could have played the Wizards. They could have played the Thunder. From day one, you saw the vision of having Luka as your creator in limited minutes, mind you. He didn't even play the whole game. You
put up prime Evan Turner numbers, bro.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
You have, and
they won by like fucking 60. It was crazy.
And I think like we all knew that Luka and LeBron, they're just too smart to not be able to figure it out and to not click instantly. The first thing that popped up is what happened on the first couple plays where Luka comes in and, oh my goodness, is Jackson Hayes like
the answer?
Like is he here? Is he like a good offensive center?
Yeah.
Luka's able to step in and immediately elevate everybody else around him. The passes that he was making, all of a sudden, I had tweeted it out. It had been like a month and a half, 2 months since I had seen Luka play.
Yeah.
You forget, like, oh my goodness, these passes that he's making are crazy. Where he's driving to the rim, just throwing stuff behind his head. He and everywhere. Everybody's open. The lob threat, all the lob threats are open. The Lakers are going to get such good shots when Luka is on the floor. And if you have Luka with the ball and LeBron screening for him, which we've talked about so many times that, especially at this point in his career, LeBron wants to do, and it will make sense to put him in that role. Now you have 2 of the greatest passers of all time making,
do they play tonight?
making the best decisions.
I gotta watch
We ain't Wings tonight.
on the floor.
Oh hell yeah, they play. Hey, guess who they play tonight?
The Utah Jazz.
They play the Jazz.
Yeah,
again.
again.
Yeah, so like they're gonna win by 50.
Yeah.
Let's go.
50, 70.
We'll dabble.
We're gonna find.
We'll put that to the test.
We're gonna find a new wing place in Chicago. We're gonna watch Luka dominate the Jazz. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. So I think like for everything, and this is, some of the projecting and the playoff projecting that we have done in this list, is that when you talk about them going up against the Memphis Grizzlies or them going up against the Houston Rockets and teams, also below them.
Yeah.
You look at them in the series and it's like, yo, Luka's going to eat your lunch. LeBron's going to eat your lunch. There's nothing that you guys are going to be able to do because their offensive firepower is going to be able to overcome your superpowers and all of that. So the Lakers have the infrastructure to do everything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what it is? I'm only really projecting with the teams that made deadline acquisitions because I have to. And they're 32-19. They're 9 games behind the 1 seed. The Nuggets are 9. I mean, no, my bad. They're 10.5 games behind the 1 seed. Mm-hmm. Good Lord, the Thunder are amazing. That's ridiculous. They're 10.5 games behind the Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the Grizzlies are 7.5 games. I think Luka is worth 3 games. I think that is fine to me. I'm okay with assuming Luka makes them 3 games better, and that will give them enough regular season equity to say that they've earned it over the Grizzlies when you add in the projection. I don't feel too bad about that. if the Grizzlies were like 2 games behind the Thunder, I would do what I'm doing with the Cleveland Cavaliers, where I say, I have my concerns. I don't know if you'll be the other best team out there, but you've goddamn earned it. I would be silly to not acknowledge what you've done and what you've earned, the respect you deserve. That would be different. But the Grizzlies are a good chunk back too, so I'm okay putting the projection over them.
Yeah. I will say also, touching back on this Boston Celtics versus Cleveland Cavaliers conversation, we all are aware of like, there's some things that's scary in Boston in terms of like, KP, how good are you going to be? How healthy are you going to be? He's even better as a late. Same conversation can be had about Al Horford and also Drew Holiday as well. But with Cleveland, I still see like the same question that we had, the biggest question that we had over the entirety of the year is still a question when it comes to y'all and how y'all feel or we feel about Donovan Mitchell and him not reaching like his
it's not even
normal
me. I'm not really like too pressed about D Mitch. I think D Mitch is fine. I think like obviously it's not to the level that it was last year.
Yeah.
But also last year Darius Garland was in and out was hurt for a majority of the time. Yeah. And you needed him to start faster because like Darius Garland got hurt early on. Yeah. And D Mitch had to like, get into the groove of the season as number one guy like that. So
I'm not like upset with D Mitch or anything. Yeah. I just think that you need as much firepower as you fucking can, and to beat Boston, you would like to see him go nuclear, and so far he hasn't. And I say that because I think Cleveland's a better team right now. I think they're not going to be able to beat them if this playoff started like with both at full strength right now from what we know. They'd have a hard time with Boston just because Boston is the one team in the league right now that you simply cannot start 2 small guards against. That you can get away with a lot of starting Garland and D-Mitch together. Boston is the exact best team in the league at attacking small defenders. It's just really hard to get away with that when they have like 4 players who can pick on you, spread the game out, and isolate against both the small guards. It really is like the worst case scenario matchup-wise that way. That's really the only reason I feel like D-Mitch has to go nuclear, because you're going to have to make up for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, other than that, like Denver, shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? They got everything back on track. OKC's been great throughout the entire year. And then,
yeah, man, they're going to win the finals. They're going to win the finals. I'm sorry.
They are.
OKC's going to win the finals.
I still have my stamp. I wanted to put the Denver Nuggets up on top because they are my new like finals prediction still.
I got some bad news for you. Josh Giddey's not walking through those doors. You're not going to have this thing like we saw last year with the Dallas Mavericks where everyone's like, oh, they figured it out. Oh, the defense fell apart. No, it didn't. Josh Giddey was a destructive force to the offense. They helped off him every single time. That's why the offense fell apart. They attacked him every time. That's why OKC had to send a lot of doubles and leave PJ Washington open. That motherfucker is not walking through those doors. If they're healthy, I feel like they're going to blitz the Western Conference. Yeah,
I just think Nikola Jokic is inevitable, and he's going to, because of his level of greatness and how things have been working out, seeing Jamal Murray be the normal Jamal Murray that we have been used to seeing, the best version of himself. Michael Porter Jr. still doing his thing. We've seen Christian Braun and his he's actually evolved and made a mid-season development in terms of his ability. He's already been a great transition player, but his finishing at the rim has been superb. So adding a new wrinkle there has just been helping me. And the narrative I've been trying to push of Denver actually being the best team in the Western Conference. Haven't seen it yet because, of course, OKC is OKC and they deserve that reign. But if I had a gun to the back of my head, I'm having Denver as my championship favorites.
Here I'll say this. One, I do think Jamal Murray is going to have a very tough time in the playoffs, just because
torture chamber.
OKC has so much length that they can throw at him, and so many good defenders that they can deploy on him, to where I think you're not going to see classic Jamal Murray playoff riser. He's averaging 34. He's getting 35 in the first half. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm very excited for post All-Star break because I'm looking at schedules right now. OKC still has 2 games against Denver in the last 30 games. The Lakers have 2 games against OKC, 3 games against Denver, a game against Memphis as well. There's going to be a lot of good matchups post deadline, post All-Star break, where teams are actually going to be kind of rounded out, and we're going to get to see these head-to-head matchups, and it's going to tell you a lot in terms of hey, what do you need to fix really, really quickly? And what is the number one priority for everybody on these lists? I'm super excited for these last 30 games.
And there we go. That's our power rankings. You guys let us know. Where are we tripping? You guys always love to tell us who we're hating on too much, who we're hyping too much. Let us know. I want to know. I want to know specifically who you guys think I'm hating on too much. Who do you guys think I'm hating on too much?
I mean, it's obvious. I think you only hit it on one team,
Who was that?
the Orlando Magic.
Oh yeah, they deserve
no,
it. That's not too much. They
Yeah,
deserve
no,
it.
no. I think for you and how you
think that's
had, I remember a couple months ago, you were like, yeah, you expect the Orlando Magic to damn near be in like New York Knicks type territory in terms of standing and all that.
There was a
and seeing that fizzle out, it's hurt your
there
heart,
was a
and I believe-
path.
and I
There
understand.
was a path. I think like a month and a half ago. There was a path where I saw where I was like, yeah, they could potentially make the run to the conference finals. I still kind of think
That's so far.
I still-
That's so
I
Get
still-
the
far.
I still-
fuck out of here.
Yeah.
there is still a path. Is it likely? No, but like there's still the path to get there.
You could say there's a path to anybody that they just become the best case scenario that you hope they could be before the season, even though they've shown you exactly no reason to think there is. There's a path for the Phoenix Suns to make the conference finals. Fuck it, I'm out there. I think Kevin
We
Durant could
haven't
average
talked
60.
about the Suns for like
See, but
a
that's the
second.
thing.
They're so depressing.
But that's the thing. You don't believe that. I do. I do.
And that's all that matters, the power of belief. With that being said, we're on to TikTok time.
TikTok time. TikTok time. We move.
Nice.
That was a crazy salute.
Yeah, I know that.
Double.
Double hand. All right, Elon.
All right.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Welcome to TikTok time.
We are here, and we got a guess.
Well, Kat's here. See if she gets in camera. Oh my God. She's curious. Look at her stretch.
What a talent.
Fire.
Can't make noises. I see she wants a podcast. Someone say on the mic.
She was sitting over here earlier and like was like speaking into the mic.
Yeah.
She
I
had
don't know
something to
if
say.
she'll say anything, but
She was dropping bars.
we're going to begin with a new segment we've never done before. We're going to play NBA Pictionary.
Yeah, let's see how this goes.
Yeah, so I have the iPad pulled up. We're going to do Pictionary with drawing it digitally on the iPad so you guys will be able to see the screen share. There's not going to be like a whiteboard. So we'll see who can draw the best with their fingers. If you guys don't know, if you've never seen this game before, I have a box here with a bunch of note cards of various NBA teams, NBA players, phrases, whatever it may be. We're going to take turns. We're going to draw a card. Don't let anybody else see it. You'll see what your card is, and you got to draw it while we will look at the screen, and we will try to figure out what you're drawing. Whoever gets it right, you get a point.
I will have you guys know I did drop out of 6th grade art first semester, but I have
First semester, he was
Yeah.
a dummy.
man, I can't draw.
Wow.
I
Yeah,
cannot
so
draw.
I guess we'll kick it off. I'll go first. Let me draw blindly.
I've never played Pictionary before, but I'm pretty good at guessing. So let's see what happens.
Oh my
draw.
God, this is incredibly difficult. I don't know
Okay.
what to do. We're going to say we have to draw in white on this iPad because if we do, Mo made a good point earlier, if we do colors, like if I had Lakers, I would draw it in yellow and it'd be quite obvious. So you could use whatever tools you want on here for thickness of the drawing or whatever.
Okay.
It's got to stay white, which is quite difficult.
Okay.
So, okay. First player. Not player. First name. It's
I
not
was about
player.
to say, did he just leak?
I did. Let me draw a new one. It was a player.
Who was it?
I should have
was
shut the
Shaquille
fuck
O'Neal.
up. Damn it! I should have shut up.
I didn't know what to draw for Shaq anyways.
Wait, are you gonna draw some big belly?
Okay.
The mic.
First thing. Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Oh, this is difficult. Why did I put players in here? Oh, I
Okay.
did it again.
We would. Okay.
We're not even talking. Like, please lock in.
Okay. Oh, this one's easier.
Okay.
Lock in.
Okay.
Ooh, squiggly,
All right, very
squiggly. Oh, this is the
Chi-
Bulls.
Chicago Bulls.
Look,
There
it's
we
too
go.
easy. It's too easy. I
There
got
we
an
go.
easy one that time.
Okay.
Good job.
Thank God I dodged Shaq by accidentally
Yeah.
giving it away.
That was a pretty good bull.
Well, Bulls is the easiest one you could possibly
Yeah,
do.
that was pretty realistic. Okay.
Okay, your turn. Dude, if I would have had to draw Shaq, what do you even do for that? Here's that. That would have gotten
Yeah.
crazy.
I don't know what to draw for this.
Okay.
Very.
I don't know how realistic this is gonna be,
Try
but
your
I can
hardest.
make it as realistic as possible.
All right,
Okay.
go ahead. Just go ahead.
I'm
Just
making
go
excuses right now.
Okay.
Just go ahead. Okay, squiggly. Basquiat.
Stop. Oh my God, my cat's scratching me.
Oh,
Oh,
shit!
what?
Hold on. I just got nerfed. There we
Whoa,
go.
whoa, what is that?
Is that a hand? Is that the
Okay,
claw?
looks like a horse.
Is that Kawhi
No.
Leonard?
Is that a crown?
Hold
King
on.
James? LeBron?
You got yuck super close earlier.
Okay, so
Miami Heat?
I said Kawhi. Is it a clipper?
What the
Yes,
fuck?
it's a
Oh, it's a
clipper.
nail clipper. He's drawing a nail clipper.
No, that was actually like a clipper.
What do you mean Clipper?
Oh, the hair clippers.
Oh,
These
you're
are the
drawing
Clippers.
Clippers.
Yeah. I was like, I have no idea how to draw like the Clippers logo.
Hey, y'all have synergy. I would not have guessed that. That's crazy.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That
All right.
Clipper. I did not think you were drawing a Clipper at all.
Which is fair because
Yeah.
if I drew a boat, like nobody's mind ever goes to Clipper.
yeah,
when I
we'll
draw a
see,
boat.
man.
Hey,
Yeah.
I gotta draw something. Can you
Yeah,
give me
just pick up the box.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Please. I guess I have to.
You don't gotta draw a blind like that as long as we don't see it.
I know. I realized that after.
I was like, you open the box.
Okay. All right. We're gonna go here. We're gonna go.
I'm gonna fry
Okay,
him for
starting
drawing
with the
whatever
circle.
it is.
It's a basketball.
Okay, it's a basketball. It's ugly ass basketball, but okay.
It's
The
not-
fuck? It's flying.
It's got wings.
The Dallas Wings. This is not the WNBA.
Hawks.
Yes.
Ah.
Okay, why'd you start with the basketball?
I needed to. I can't draw a bird. I needed something to
Try
put
to
the
draw a
wings
bird
on.
right now. Let's go ahead.
No,
What
we're
does
not
it look
gonna
like?
do that. We're not
He said,
gonna-
no, we're not doing
what,
that.
like,
It's funny because the Hawks logo is mad easy to draw.
Like-
Yeah, isn't it just like?
is this a
Lines.
bird?
No, it's not a. That looks like a turkey. What the hell? It's a bird. Yeah.
That's all. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I mean that is a bird. The wings. There's only so many wings.
That's the best of my ability.
All right.
That's my go-to. I just had to get to the wings.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad.
I could
I hope I draw a player.
I
Next
could have
time.
drawn a football.
Maybe
I was
this
gonna
is
put
easy.
wings on it.
Oh God. Jesus.
There we go. Yes, yes,
This
yes.
is difficult. Oh, this is a difficult logo.
Yes.
Okay, so we got legs. Oh, I can't
No,
talk.
you can, be quiet.
It's okay.
Wemby.
Yeah.
What the hell? You know that was
That is the tallest person I
Someone was just
He took up the whole screen.
an extraordinarily long neck. He gave it away.
had to
Okay.
be
Damn.
You draw a stick figure.
Yeah,
Victor Wembanyama.
that's mad easy.
Wow, you are locked in right now.
That's
Yeah.
my guy. How would I not know?
Maybe
Wow.
this game is easy. Maybe they should have slight for us.
All right.
Go ahead and draw another one.
Let me go ahead.
Here you go.
Well, we need to have them sending things for us to draw.
Oh, they're gonna. Do
Oh, I'm finna be in my bag right now. Okay. I'm having so much fun. I'm actually gonna try to take my time.
Okay.
I mean, whatever.
Okay. Looks like Caillou.
No, it's a head.
It's a head. We got ear.
Big
And then-
ears. Already a big head. Oh, crazy hairline. Kind of far back. LeBron.
Is it Stephen A. Smith?
Hold on. Hold on.
All right.
I
so
want to see how good my drawing
Big ass
ability
nose.
is.
he drew a yam.
Oh shit! I kind of fucked up.
This could be it. What are these dots?
It's supposed to be his beard hair.
James
Beard
Harden.
hair.
Beard hair? No, you said. I think you said his name earlier, but I was too locked in.
Oh, is this LeBron? Is that a crown?
That's my goat, LeBron James.
I said it.
And I just wanted
You
to
just
draw.
wanted
This is crowd eater time, man. What do you expect? I'm not gonna listen.
That's fair. I saw the hairline. I was locked in.
Oh shit!
That's good. That's good.
You saw the hairline. You were
That, you
locked.
gave him a yam. On
I
his
should
face.
have. Yeah, I did. But he kind of does have one.
All right now. How am I going to do this? This is very tough. I have to lock in because again, I am an art school dropout,
Okay.
so I don't know how to do this. All right, we're gonna try here.
Okay. Is that puppy?
Oh, what the fuck are we drawing right now?
Okay.
Uh,
It looked real suspicious.
Yeah, like some balls.
It's a turtle.
Is this an animal of some sort?
Oh, I know what it is.
a
It is an
dinosaur?
animal. Yeah, it looks like
Looks like a turtle. Is this a turtle?
looks like a peak, like some type of fucking
Yo, is he drawing a
Pokemon.
turtle? What is this?
Squirtle. Oh, this is Franklin.
This is something.
All right, we're gonna restart real quick.
Motherfucker's John Blastoise.
no. We're gonna restart. But once again, we're gonna start here.
Okay.
Oh, that looks like a nose. Could be a leg.
It
looks like
Oh,
a
this
dog.
person is bow-legged like a
No.
motherfucker.
You drawing Captain Underpants?
Once again, we're gonna restart.
I can't draw for shit.
Take 3.
All right, so we're gonna go.
Ooh, he's going wider. Big
What
brain.
the hell?
Hold on, please.
Folding under pressure.
Okay, looks like a piece of toast. I lied. Looks
What
like
is
a
that?
ew. What type of is that? A beak?
Is it a worm?
Don't make me start over.
What
Again.
type of neck is that? Okay, Its eyes. Oh, okay. I
Is
think we
this-
finally got it. I think we
you
got it.
got? Is this an animal?
I think is this the Toronto Raptors?
Thank you. Yes. Yes.
Ooh,
The first
shit.
one. So y'all said dinosaur.
I did.
You said
Yeah.
dinosaur, and I thought you were gonna keep going.
That's not a raptor. That looks like
yeah, I don't know. It's just a
You think I know
dinosaur.
how to draw a raptor? What are we talking about? No, I don't know how to draw a raptor. Take the thing.
Someone got to it. Okay, wasn't gonna be me.
I was trying to draw. See, at first I was thinking like a long neck, and then I was thinking like a stegosaurus or something like that.
Stegosaurus.
Okay.
It's the only thing I
So-
remember.
Oh shit. Damn.
Time to lock in.
So we got this.
What is this?
Okay, that looks
Big
like a
head.
tree.
It looks like already like pretty Squidward.
It does look like Squidward.
Does it really?
Glasses.
Someone who wears glasses.
Jalen
He,
Smith.
he looks really weird. He looks like an alien. He looks like a
Goggles?
mushroom. And he's kind of nerdy too. He's a geek.
Okay.
This guy's a nerd.
He has to be in there. Jared Allen. Miles
No.
Turner.
I don't know what else to draw.
I'm
Is
just thinking
he
about.
okay? He looks bald.
All I'm thinking.
Oh
about people-
wait,
Go.
no, this is not Richard Jefferson.
Dude, no.
Fuck.
Baldy with glasses.
Yes.
Who's out here? What's up?
Come
What's up,
on.
homie?
Okay, baldy with glasses. Does he have any hair?
No, this is bald. Look at his head.
Oh, is this Ernie Johnson?
Oh, you're close.
Oh, this is Charles Barkley.
No. Oh, closer with Ernie.
Kenny Smith.
No, closer with Ernie. There's a defining feature you're going away from.
Caruso.
Oh, this is Adam Silver.
This is Adam Silver.
Yeah. He looks so evil in this bitch. This is so accurate.
What can I say?
He looks so menacing.
I didn't
am
know
an-
commissioners were on the table.
I am an artist.
No, that's so hard.
Homie, what's up?
Closer to Ernie Johnson. He was white. Okay.
I was like, the drawing is complete. I don't know what else to do. This is the best of my abilities to draw Adam Silver.
Better restart.
Yeah, I know. Draw another white ball guy.
Okay. I'm finna get in my bag once again.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Wow.
Huh?
It's a basketball. Okay. Looks more like a baseball to me.
Basketball on the inside. A basketball inside of a basketball?
That's a face in the basketball? What the hell?
What?
He's puffing?
Smoking?
He's blowing gas in the basketball?
Yeah.
He
He
just be yapping.
wears this thing too. Okay, if you guys
What? You said, oh, I'm gonna be in my bag, and then got out of your bag.
I'm seeing
this is my bag.
he puffs gas and he wears a turban.
Okay, if you guys don't know what this is, let me expand my thought process.
He
Here.
smokes and wears a do-rag?
No. What the type of stereotype is no? He don't smoke, he don't wear a do-rag. Okay, let me
Some
move on
portrait?
to the next one. Okay.
Trees?
No, it's not
Broccoli?
a tree.
Gas? Ganja?
No, it's not a tree. No, it's not gas. I will also draw this. Okay, let me draw a better.
Yeah, brother. Hit that
logo.
redo.
No!
Hit that redo.
Let me go ahead and draw a better.
Is this still the same player?
No, it's not a
His
player.
teammate?
Hey, I think this might be a loss. I'm the
Yeah.
one looking
No way.
I think I'm checking out.
No way.
at Cotton Candy?
No.
Is this Kevin Durant?
Has a little hat.
Has a hat.
Yeah.
Brother, you are off.
Oh my god. Okay, if I last attempt.
Please.
Oh shit.
What the hell?
Plants?
Wait.
With a basket?
What is this? What did I just draw? What was this last defining
Oh, the
feature?
trophy?
Yes.
Boston
Okay.
Celtics!
Yes!
That's supposed to be a fucking clover or something?
Yes, this is supposed to be a clover. This is supposed to be the logo, and this is supposed to be Lucky. And I was like, God damn it, this is the only explanation that I have next.
All right.
How am I
guess-
supposed to draw Jason Tatum? How? How is that possible?
I
Corn
guess.
cob? I don't know. All right, last one. Donovan, you're going last to see if you can do a better showing than last time.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all guessed it. So I
Man.
did what I had to do.
Goddamn Lucky. He's so hard to draw.
Yeah, trying Lucky's insane.
Yeah.
All right. What is this, right?
Okay, last
okay.
one.
Last one. Trying to think, where's my inspiration going to come from on this one? Do I go Basquiat? Do I go Picasso, Banksy?
Some of the sort.
All right, so we're gonna go. Somebody got something on here. All right, so we're gonna start off by drawing this.
Okay. A
It's
heart?
Like a heart.
Nope.
Hunchback.
Paw.
A hand.
It's a paw, some kind of animal. Claws.
Oh.
Either a cat or a bear. Basketball in the hand.
Okay.
I'm thinking bear. I'm thinking.
He probably resides in the Western Conference, but I want to see you add more details.
Yeah, I want to
Just
keep
to
going.
be,
Keep
just
going.
to be 100%
I hate y'all
sure.
because y'all know what
Nah,
it is.
I don't know what
Guess.
it is. La, la, la,
I'm
la,
not
la,
sure.
la, la, la.
Guess, please.
Okay.
Is this Chicago Cubs? I don't know. Keep going.
I can't stand y'all.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
Yeah, that's
This is a
that
perfect
hand
drawing, and y'all know exactly
that
what I'm
hand is
trying to
kinda
get to.
crazy.
But
I don't know
okay,
what
fine.
Oh, it's the Miami Heat.
All right. Y'all suck.
That is a nice basketball that you did draw, though.
Thank you. Okay, so
Okay, let's
take that in mind.
Be more specific.
So once again,
More detail, please.
Yeah, exactly. I
Visual
need
learner.
assistance.
All right, we're gonna do this. Hold on. Let me draw this.
Okay, this is a light. Oh wow! Wait,
Is that? Oh, it's a hoop.
what's a hoop? Okay, basketball net.
Nice.
Oh, you're in your bag right now. Not gonna lie
Okay.
to you. Ooh wee! Look at the angles on this.
We're gonna draw this first.
Okay.
And then this is a basketball in the air. Look at him computing right now.
I'm trying to think. All right, so we got.
Wow. Okay. And then we got
Wait, let me draw him a little bit.
okay, basketball in the air. He's either shooting it, it's a terrible miss, or this is a man.
I'm trying to get the right.
Mike
angle
Wazowski
here.
dunking.
I'm trying to get the right angle here. Cause
Is this
we would
Ben
go-
Simmons back in 2021?
Man, what a terrible listen this must be for audio listeners.
It 100%.
Okay, it's a dunker. Okay. Draw the hair for me.
Yeah, does he have hair? Okay, semi long hair.
Caitlin Clark flying through the skies.
Can y'all put me on my misery? Can you guess?
This is the
This is the Memphis
Grizzlies.
Grizzlies. Ja Morant.
Man, go to the next thing.
And that's the end of that segment.
I tried so hard.
That's hilarious.
I was trying to draw John Morant just throwing himself at the basket.
Good job.
You did a good job with that.
Take this thing.
There we go.
And there we go. That's the end of that segment. Hope you guys enjoyed a little Pictionary.
What a game.
You can see our art skills a little bit. Let me make sure this.
Who's the
screen
best
recording
drawer here?
worked. You don't know. You tell me.
Maybe Donovan, actually.
Hey,
Got
I mean,
him.
listen. He showed out. He got us the Raptors, and he got us John Morant dunking.
Come on now.
I would have given up.
I try.
I don't know. I think Adam Silver was the best drawing here, though.
I tried my hardest.
Adam Silver was
I
hilarious.
think Adam Silver was quite the work of art, if you ask me.
Hanging it up on my refrigerator when I get home.
Next thing we're gonna do our draft for the day. You might have thought one wasn't coming because we didn't start with it, but it is here. We are gonna do a draft of Canadian NBA players
All time?
all time.
Okay.
The draft order is me, Donovan, Mo. Yeah, the only thing is they have to be a Canadian.
God damn. Okay, I got. But I will work through.
All right. Go ahead.
Don't.
Don't care.
Yeah, I'm locking in right now. Sorry.
Who do I want to go with here? You know what? I'm gonna be recency bias. I'm gonna be a Gen Z brain. Give me Shea at point guard.
Okay. Thank you. You make my choice a little bit easier.
Yeah, that's one of them.
I want my point guard to be Steve Nash.
Yeah, you can have the old head. I want it. Let me start from. Let me make it a little different than what I normally do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that makes my life hard. Very, very hard. But it's okay because I will prevail. Or at least try to.
You'll do your best, and that's what matters.
This is the worst place to be in. Absolutely.
It's
yeah,
honestly
there's two legends here. Then
Yeah, and then there's just like a bunch of meh after
you
that.
better take Andrew Wiggins. Keep it moving.
God damn, bro. All right, so I think for my point guard, I'm just going to naturally grab Jamal Murray.
Okay.
Please
Makes
defend for me,
sense.
Jamal Murray.
Makes sense.
And I need someone who's going to be an absolute irritant, someone who's going to
Hell
destroy,
yeah.
make his life easier, or make Shea's life and Nash's life harder. Give me Dylan Brooks, the ultimate menace.
Okay. That's nice. If I have Steve Nash, one of the better passers of all time, I want Steve Nash to have every pass available to him. I want him to throw behind the backs and lobs. And I want him to have the ultimate lob threat. Give me Zach Edey at my
Okay.
center.
Oh, he's Canadian. I
Hey,
forget.
Shea attack every play.
Okay.
There's not many bigs on this list. I'll take Tristan Thompson.
Hmm.
I'll take a good defender.
Worked.
There's very, very few options here for big men.
Okay.
Worked.
Nice NBA champion. Good locker room presence.
Yeah.
I guess.
And then, ooh,
You better go ahead and do it.
Give me Andrew Wiggins.
Thank you.
Damn.
Yeah.
Give me the All-Star.
If you didn't do it, I was gonna
Yeah,
do
give
it.
me Andrew Wiggins.
Damn.
I got,
okay.
I got some, dude. That's a good defensive infrastructure.
You actually do have a solid team. I do kind of like that. You know what? I kind of need a
Maple
wing
Mamba?
two. No,
Damn.
I would like. All right, so we got Steve Nash, we got Zach Edey, very diverse group. Give me Rick Fox at my 3.
Okay.
Okay, pretty boy.
Pretty boy.
Pretty Ricky. That's what they call it.
Okay, Mo, where are you going?
Whew, man, okay.
Your team sucks.
God damn, bro. This is the worst draft ever for me, and I can't do anything about it.
What's funny is this was Team Canada last year.
Jamal and Dylan Brooks putting on for the nation.
Ah, man, okay. So I can't let this lockdown defender slide to you guys whatsoever. Like, defense is my only hope of winning these games. So naturally, give me Lou Dort at my 2.
Okay.
Give me Shea's teammate.
Dort plus Brooks spacing. Let's go.
Hey, Dort is a sniper this year. So is Dylan Brooks, bro. He hit 10 3-pointers the other day. Don't disrespect. Okay. Reconstruction.
All right, Mo, what's your next pick?
I can't see the screen.
What do you need to see?
I need to see how the board's shaking out.
All right.
Okay. So after that, I need to grab a 4. I don't need to prioritize a 5 whatsoever. But my offense is looking still super shaky. I can lean multiple ways, but I think what I want to do in this moment.
He says so many empty words when he's thinking. It's hilarious.
Good job.
Ooh, okay.
Good job. That's what you have to do to fill the space.
Actually, there we go. I got it. I'm going small ball. This is my only hope of life at this moment
Don't
in
you
time. I want to shift Dort and Brooks back a little bit
Stop
and
it.
put Nickeil Alexander-Walker on my 2.
Okay.
Yeah, if there's anybody in the NBA who can stop Shai Alexander, or at least have a chance, hope to do, it's going to be Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Okay. So I have to fill in the gaps at the 2 and the 4. At my 2, I'm drafting Andrew Nembhard.
Damn it! Oh, I was about to pick him.
That's
I
nice.
thought you forgot about
That's
him.
nice. That's nice. I wanted him too, but I needed someone bigger.
See this?
I would have.
He thought it was sweet.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's not.
All right. I need spacing, and I want to be the biggest team here by far. Give me Kelly Olynyk at power
God
forward.
damn it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Figured.
Yeah, I'm gonna be waiting for my 5. Nope.
Yeah, I was going to, but
Yeah.
I needed to take Nah from you.
Yep, not happening. And then, you know what? Give me someone who's having a good year. Give me Benedict Mathurin at shooting guard.
Took his guy.
Yeah,
I like
I need
that.
a little more
Oh.
firepower.
Oh.
I got defense. I got spacing. I got 2 slashers.
Oh, okay.
Look at this team. I like it.
Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad. I am looking at this list and I'm looking at all the people who can sit here and potentially play the 4 position for me.
Maple Mamba. Maple Mamba.
Nah, I can't put RJ at the 4 right now.
Oh, wait, no. Was Wiggins 8 Maple Mamba? Am I getting that mixed up?
I think anybody who comes out of Canada,
You're not
the
wrong.
number 10, it's like the number 10 jersey in soccer. You just get passed off the generation.
Yeah.
At my number 4, what I would like to do is give me Trey Lyles at my
Okay.
4.
It's a very okay pick.
Damn. Okay. Fuck. My team is so cooked, bro. Currently, I have like no bigs. And my only hope, I could look at one of the Maple Mambas and just put them on my team and say, fuck this, let's just deploy the ultimate small ball rotation. But I need some sort of size. I can't let Zach Edey, Kelly Olynyk, and Tristan Thompson abuse me. Well, they already are going to abuse me with my next pick.
He's putting Dylan Brooks at the 5.
No, give me Chris Boucher. Give me a stretch 5 who's not necessarily one of the better stretch 5s in the NBA, but he has the ability to do so.
He's the idea of a stretch 5.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You might have drafted the worst team in TD3 draft history. I think you made history today.
I had no choice.
I know. Listen,
The fuck could I
Yeah,
have
listen,
done?
the player pool wasn't 100%.
I was at
there.
the worst. You guys started off with 2 all-time great players.
Yeah, we have Hall of Fame.
And you left me with Jamal Murray.
I've seen better. I've seen crazier comebacks.
Silver spoon draft.
I've seen crazier comebacks.
Born on third base draft.
My
Trust fund draft.
team is Shea, Benedict Mathurin, Andrew Wiggins, Kelly Olynyk, Tristan Thompson.
That's not bad.
It actually makes sense. That's a team.
Yeah, this is not bad. My team, I have Steve Nash, Andrew Nembhard, Rick Fox, Trey Lyles, and Zach Edey.
Okay. Your team makes a lot of sense. I think it probably fits better than Isaac's. You have no playmakers on your team.
I have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'll be fine.
He's not a playmaker. I got Jamal Murray, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Lou Dort, Dylan Brooks. My wings are great. Where I just fall off and come short-handed is
Zach
the big
is
position.
putting
Chris
CB
Boucher.
in the
He can't even break
basket.
20 minutes a game, bro. He's looking Chris Boucher in the eyes. Come on now.
Okay. Neither here nor there. That's the end of that. Next thing we're going to do, a little Keep 4, Cut 4.
Let's
Something
go.
we've been doing a lot lately. We're going to do Keep 4, Cut 4 with LeBron James teammates.
Okay, this is very, very interesting.
So all-time players he's played with. Keep 4, Cut 4.
At their peaks, I'm assuming.
Yeah, everybody's at their peak. Actually, let me transfer to the other screen for you guys so you guys can see it better. But yeah, so
We're good.
this is incredibly hard because obviously LeBron has had a gigantic amount of good teammates over his career.
All-time help.
And the list just keeps on getting juicier and juicier and better as time goes on.
Yep.
I love it.
So you guys know how this game works. 8 total names. You got to put 4 keep, 4 cut. First name, Kyrie Irving.
He deserves to be kept. He's one of the...
So, okay, but if you think about it, so like obviously Luka's going to be on this list for sure.
yeah.
So,
Luka's gonna be
Luka's
in there,
gonna be behind-
D-Wade gonna be
D-Wade's
there,
gonna be-
AD gonna be there, and Kyrie's...
I wouldn't be so sure.
We're putting Kyrie at... We can put
Keep
Kyrie,
Kyrie.
at 4.
He won a championship with Kyrie. LeBron
Okay.
has 4 rings. One of them came with Kyrie. He needs to be there.
Okay.
Okay.
We will keep Kyrie at number 4.
Okay. Kevin Love.
He
Cut.
gets cut. Easy.
First cut.
Easy. I love Kevin Love. I remember, you know how LeBron told Luka to fit the fuck out instead of fitting in?
Yeah.
Way back in the day, he told Kevin Love, stop trying to fit the fuck out and fit in.
Yeah.
Told you, stay in your role. You are a role player.
Put that man
Beat
in,
Ersan Ilyasova for me.
put that man in the Akron Asylum.
Anthony Davis.
3.
Keeping him.
We're keeping Ant.
He's
Yeah.
fan.
AD at 3.
Again, he won an NBA championship. So if you win a championship with him, you are one of the 4 best players of LeBron James.
Damn,
For
you
sure.
just called him Ant. I've never heard anybody call Anthony Davis Ant before.
I keep on confusing them.
I was
Anthony Edwards.
halfway through Anthony, and then I was gonna call him AD, so I just
Yeah.
called him Ant.
Okay. Dwayne Wade.
2.
He's
We keep him.
arguably the best individual LeBron teammate of all time. So
Okay.
gotta keep him too.
You guys are flying through the keeps. You better be careful.
We gotta
No.
be picky now.
Okay. Anderson Varejao.
See
Keep.
ya.
Salute.
Yeah.
Top of the list.
Yep. Salute to Anderson Varejao and all of your flopping and all of your magnificent hair, but you are cut from this list.
Okay. Ray Allen.
Ooh, this is interesting. I think I'd
We're
Probably
talking peak
wanna-
Ray Allen though.
Well, no. Version
No.
with.
yeah
LeBron.
the Miami
As a
Heat
LeBron
version.
teammate.
That's what I specified.
He did not win a series. Obviously, it's crazy. If you're talking to LeBron's hater, he saved him.
You saved his legacy.
Yeah, saved his legacy.
He
Do I
did.
believe it? Probably not.
He did.
But he's what the fuck are you talking about?
We don't have to get into it right now, but like,
Oh my God.
but you know,
No.
but if it's just as LeBron's teammate, we do have to put him at 7
I
because
agree.
it was Ray Allen at the end of his career. He wasn't the same Ray Allen,
Yeah, I agree.
even
Okay.
though that he did save LeBron's legacy.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay,
Oh, that-
so
Literally, the version of Shaquille O'Neal and like the 6 months after that is the version that people say when you are that, you are past your prime. You are washed. He has to be cut.
okay, so if we're cutting him, we are hoping and praying that someone like Chris Bosh is on this list.
That's fair. 2009 Shaq cannot be on this list as one of the 4 best LeBron teammates.
Or Luca's here.
No legends. No
I hope-
respect for the legends.
We can have
Okay.
Iman Shumpert would be kept over 2009 Celtic Shaq.
Oh, okay.
Shout out Shump.
I wouldn't go that far.
Shout out the homie Shump. But
Whew.
like,
So we're keeping him or we're cutting him. There's only 2 spots left.
we're
we're
cutting
cutting
him.
Shaq. Shout out
Okay.
J.R. Smith. Shout out Matthew Dellavedova.
I hope Luca or Bosh is on here. If not, you are in risk of getting strangled, Donovan.
The last spot for number 1, top of your LeBron James teammates list, we have Russell Westbrook.
See, I couldn't really do anything.
Oh my
Right?
God.
I couldn't really. You were hoping for that, but like, as soon as we cut,
You sold me.
what do you mean? We cut Kevin Love. Kevin Love was like the only other name that could be on here, and we cut him the second.
You could have kept Ray Allen. You could have kept Anderson Varejao.
We're not keeping Anderson. No matter.
Come
any
on, like
circumstance.
You could have kept Love or Ray Allen.
that's what I'm saying. The Kevin Love pick was the worst one, but that was our second thing. Once again, I'm never gonna be made to feel bad in these because it's literally blind. I don't know what's happening next. We're playing odds.
Cop
we're,
out.
we're playing
You
blackjack.
gamble all the time. This is what you do. So I expect you to be a good gambler here.
We're playing blackjack. Listen, you don't win every hand. Sometimes you lose. And
Keep
be
that
that
losing
sometimes.
mentality over there, man.
You've been losing a lot of hands.
It's rigged. What do you mean? Like, he's making the list.
It's not. Yeah, I made the list beforehand though. So if you would have kept Kevin Love, you'd have been fine.
No,
Damn.
we were
Okay.
set up.
We'll take that one. We'll take that one.
All right, man. Next thing we're gonna do, another new staple of ours. Let's talk about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We've talked about his MVP case. We believe he's, if not the MVP favorite, second to Nikola Jokic. Clearly, at the least an MVP caliber season, will go down as one of the most dominant guard seasons in recent history, especially as a scorer. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to name 5 other classic guard seasons. You tell me which one is better, this year's Shai or this past player.
Let's go. Let's talk
Okay,
about it.
let's do
So
it.
kind of a historic comparison to Shai's current season. 5 levels. We'll see how high you can get.
Okay, Shai.
Level 1, we have 2025 Shai or 2023 Lillard when he averaged 32 points per game.
Shout out to Dame. Salute, right? Shai's about to win MVP, and Dame has just never done that. So I have to go Shai.
Even on the court too, like Shai's doing. Obviously, their play styles are so different. But where I tip my hat off to Shai is that he's more efficient, and then on top of that too, he plays defense at a great level.
But also, we do have to shout out Dame though. He was playing in basically basketball purgatory and was still hooping to his absolute best. He did get him to a Western Conference Finals. Did he win a game in those conference finals? I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about getting there.
But what we could talk about is he won a game, or he went to the Western Conference Finals with Yusuf Nurkic as the starting center.
And to be fair, this is 2023 Dame, not 2019, so that is absolutely irrelevant. But shout out Dame nevertheless.
Exactly. I just had to say all of his accomplishments because we're going with Shai. And I just can't outwardly hate it against Dame.
Yeah, we're going with the maybe future MVP. Level 2, Shai or 2015 Curry,
We're
the
stopping
first
this
MVP.
right here. We're stopping this right here.
Okay.
The first
This is
MVP.
where you
We're
turn
stopping
off his
this right
mic.
here. 2015 Steph Curry is still a great player. Still,
Of course. We're
still-
comparing MVP level player to MVP level player. It's not a slight.
I understand that. I'm going with 2015 Steph Curry.
Should we beat this guy up with fucking hammers? We got hammers in the back
Should
for a
we
reason.
beat this guy
We didn't tell him. Y'all don't know, but we got hammers for stupid ass shit like that.
It's not stupid. It's fair to say.
What?
It's fair to go Curry.
It's not Steph Curry.
listen,
You
Curry-
respect the
what?
MVP
What?
season. We could do this right now if you really want. But
If Shai wins the MVP and we rank the 10 MVPs next year, I think we'd rank this year's Shai over 2015 Curry.
2015 Curry was before he became Curry. He made the world know who he is. But
That was the MVP about team dominance as much as anything else. He wasn't
Yeah.
the amazing go-to scorer yet in a late game situation. He became at 2016 and onward. I'm okay saying Shai.
Shai averaged 10 more points than him.
Guess what? He didn't even have to be a late game.
Oh my God.
Because they weren't in close games like that. Because they were beating people.
Yeah, that's a team thing though. We're talking about MVP.
It's close enough. I'm willing to go Shai to see who's next, but I understand going Curry.
It's Shai.
We gotta go Steph.
Hammers is hilarious. Let's beat this guy up with a hammer. 2011 Derrick Rose.
Damn.
So you should have flipped this.
It's
Shout
very
out
interesting.
Derrick Rose. Your MVP is legendary. You put on for the city. Next level.
I agree.
Next level.
Yeah,
Next
I think
level.
you put Shai on that team with that defense, you would have gotten even better results.
Yeah, I agree. Derrick Rose did so much for the city, for the kids, for the community. It still doesn't matter when it comes to these conversations. It's Shai.
Level 4, 2017 Russ.
Ooh, shit. You want a hammer to beat me up now?
What are you gonna say?
I'm going Russell Westbrook. Yeah, storyline, narrative. Don't talk to me about basketball reasons whatsoever. First triple double in the very, very long time.
Shai's a
I'm
better
leaning-
defender. He's a million times more efficient scorer. He's leading a better offense, helping be part of a better defense.
But who's
Oh
a better
my
rebounder?
God.
Who's better at energizing
Great.
his teammates? Who's better
Shout
at
out the rebounding, guiding him to championships. Shout out the rebounding.
Who's better at elevating their teammates, bro? Who
I
had
don't know
to
if Russ is
run
better
double
at that.
lineups of
What?
Enes Kanter and Steven Adams?
Who did Russ elevate into where? Like where?
Enes Kanter.
If that
What did
team,
he elevate his Cantor to?
He gave him an
Fucking
opportunity.
unemployment?
He gave employment, bro. As soon as he was separated, Shai could not employ Enes Kanter. You know how good of a basketball player you have to be to elevate Enes Kanter, give him a platform.
Shout out.
He didn't win with Enes Cantor.
Stop
What are we
it, stop
talking
it, stop
about?
it,
He
stop
didn't do
it.
shit with Enes
Shout
Cantor.
out to Shai and everything that he's doing. I know that he hasn't had Chet for a majority of the season, but still his supporting cast is still much better than what Russ was working.
And he's getting much better results, hasn't it? Duh. So
If they don't have Russell Westbrook, that team picks first in the NBA draft the next year.
great. I hope that he carries that to the grave. I hope we give
Listen,
him a
man.
banner for getting the 6th seed one
Russell
time.
Westbrook is for the people. You can't tell me how he
Man,
helped
put
the
this
Cody
up again.
Zellers.
See,
Not Cody
this
Zellers.
is exactly what I'm saying. We hate him when Russ is out here leading teams to the 6th seed, but Jokic is out here leading Campazzo to the 6th seeds, and now everyone loves that MVP as well. Respect Russell Westbrook and what he did.
Yeah.
All right? Respect him.
Do you see what he did for Alex Abrina's career? He'll put him and his family on the fucking map,
Victor
bro.
Oladipo before he was Victor Oladipo.
This was, bro. Was this DeMarcus Sabonis seen this
yes,
too?
before
Or no,
he
it wasn't?
before he was.
You notice
No, it
there
wasn't.
hasn't
You're
been a
right.
single reason why he's a better player than Shea. It's just been like, damn,
It's about a
his
better
team sucks.
person, bro.
Better
Bigger conversations. I'm over here. You're over here. We're just not on the same field right
We have
now.
to get the most moral
Yeah.
victories ever. Okay.
the
Clearly,
most moral victories ever. Like he wasn't out here actually putting up actually good numbers, leading an atrocious team to wins and to the playoffs.
nevertheless, Shea's a better basketball player. Shea leads to winning more. Shea's better. We can say it.
His
Shea-
team is better.
because of him. All we talk about is how they have no offense.
Even if you take away Shea,
that team would be trash without
they
Shea.
still have another All-Star if you take away Shea.
You're gonna look me in the eyes and tell me J-Do's making the All-Star team if Shea's not on that roster?
he's an All-Star.
You're insane.
He's an All-Star.
You're insane.
Is anybody on
J-Dub's an All-Star because Shea led them to that many wins, so they earned an
if
All-Star
you
as a
put
team.
J-Dub on that 2017 team, is he not the second best player on that team?
What does that have to do with fucking shit about these two players and who's better?
Listen, man.
We're talking about single seasons, and we're talking about what Russell Westbrook was able to accomplish with one of the worst supporting casts of all
Notice
time.
every time all you can talk about is supporting cast and not why he's better at basketball because he's not. Shea has
He
risen to a
gets
level.
people
Go ahead.
employed. He helps the
That's what
economy.
that's
What
I'm
are you
saying.
talking about?
Does
You don't
that
know
lead
nothing about the Josh Hustises of the fucking world, bro.
If you were building
Goddamn.
a team, if you were building a team and you wanted to win a championship, the objective of every GM in the league, would you pick that version of Russ over this version of Shea?
I'm picking the person who looks out for the city of Oklahoma. and
Okay,
that is
okay,
Russell
all right,
Westbrook.
all right.
Yeah, yeah.
Great.
I'm picking Russ.
Great,
I'm picking
we're
Russ.
picking the Walter
But-
Payton
and
sponsorship award.
if you were in a situation where your actual best player just left you high and dry, got no assets for you, and you're like, dang, is our small market about to go underwater?
Notice the next question.
Here we go.
Notice he hasn't said he thinks he's better at basketball.
And here we go. Russell Westbrook having a better basketball season than Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Would you pick him if you had to win a championship?
2017 Russ? Yes.
You'd pick him over this year's Shea?
Yes.
With this
you'd
team?
get fired.
Yes.
Man,
All right.
can you imagine Russ with all that spacing?
That's
Bro,
what-
he had his
Oh
most
my
efficient
goodness.
3-point shooting year with the worst spacing of all time on his team, bro.
He's playing with Ennis Cantor and Steven
Steven
Adams.
Adams. That front court is nasty. And his only shooter was Anthony Morrow.
Give Russell Westbrook 3 ND guys around
Those
him.
numbers are even crazier. He's averaging like 35.
Okay.
And 35 and 15
Maybe we'll get the 4 seed.
with 20 rebounds.
Yeah, he's going
This
crazy.
guy
bro.
hates Russell Westbrook, man.
Exactly.
I love trolling you guys for Russ because you guys just like don't behave in logic when Russ comes up. It just becomes like,
No, because you actually
stop being mean to him.
No, because you actually because you like to disrespect
Be
people's
nice.
accomplishments.
I'm saying another MVP is a better player. I'm not saying fucking Damian
If it
Lillard's
was
a
up
better
to you,
player.
he wouldn't even have an MVP. You're just
Oh
saying,
yeah, James Harden would have had it.
yeah, get the hell out
Wow,
of here.
see
Get out of here.
Ultramotas. We see it. We see it.
I mean that's been known for like a decade. That's
By who?
everyone's
who?
known I felt that way for a decade. What do you mean?
Everybody.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
we can listen, we can run this in 2K or whatever spreadsheet you want to know. I know that Russell Westbrook was out here getting buckets, helping everybody else, leading that team to wins as well. Shout out to Russell Westbrook.
With
To wins.
nothing.
A couple.
Bare bones, bro. Bare bones. The team was ass. Those numbers are
was
ridiculous.
I just want one day for someone to explain to me why he's better at basketball. And
He's a
not,
better
like,
passer. There you go. Playmaker. There you go.
And now name everything else. Name every other
Rebounding.
tangible skill.
There you go. He's better in the passing lanes. There you go.
No,
better
he's
at
not.
pushing the pace.
No, he's not.
There we go.
No,
he's
he's
more
not.
explosive. There you go.
Great.
He has better celebrations. He uplifts everyone in the room. Bro, I'm telling you.
Yeah, he's a better
You
leader.
put yourself in the room with Russell Westbrook versus Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, you're going to realize who makes you a better person at the end of the day. You're going to do 10 more push-ups. You're going to go dive for rebounds harder. You're going to set screens harder for Russell Westbrook. Are you doing that for Shea? Probably not. He's going to look you wise and tell you to shut up. He's
Exactly.
going to be like, yo, he's going to ego you, bro. He's going to make you feel lesser than.
Russell Westbrook comes up and Isaac forgets to, and not even forgets, acknowledges and likes to throw it away the fact that like context with basketball exists.
Did I ever say you're acting like I'm saying LaMelo Ball's better? It's MVP versus MVP level player. It's not crazy that to pick the guy that's better at basketball.
Stop disrespecting the Brody. We're going with Russ.
It's so easy to troll you guys with Russ. It's so funny.
I'm not.
And level 5 would have been
His fits are better too. Now,
fuck no.
Okay.
Fuck
Yes.
no.
Okay.
Over Shea?
he's more daring than.
Now that is
he's
very
more
true.
daring.
He is very
He's
important to
more
NBA
daring.
You're
history
not
when it
going to
comes
win
to
the aura
daring.
off with Shea. I'm
He's
sorry.
more. He is more daring than Shea.
He is.
He takes more risks than Shea as a close
Okay.
person.
Great. Doesn't mean.
Shout out to Shea for fitting in the box. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know
Shout out
who
to
made,
Shea
you
for
know
being
who
able
made
to
the
log
box?
into Pinterest.
You know,
Anybody
you
can
know
do
who
that.
made the box? You know whose Pinterest page Shea was looking at? Russell Westbrook. He's the blueprint.
Mr. O'Casey. I love it.
I actually don't give a shit about this debate. This is so funny to get you guys riled up.
That's what I'm saying.
Last thing
And
we're
that's what I'm
going
talking
to
about. We have people who don't care about Russell Westbrook.
He's so quiet.
do. I just wish you guys would talk about basketball and not making
I'm not
make a
talking about
wish case.
basketball. I'm not doing that. Not doing that with
You
Russ.
got-
He's bigger than basketball.
Does wins and elevate no, but like a serious thing. Does wins and elevating an absolutely atrocious team to a certain floor? Does that actually not matter to you?
Not when the floor is like not impressive and not more than somebody who's like better tangibly. And well, again, I don't even know. I'm trolling with the shaping, obviously better. I guess it's a debate. I'm mostly kidding, but not as much as you guys want to make it seem
That
like.
roster is atrocious, though.
Yeah.
Good for him. I don't know why that you guys. It's like it's impressive. It's a respectful feat. It does not make him better at basketball than other people.
Yes.
But for that single season, when you're out here actually like lifting up and getting a team that has absolutely no business in top 8 conversations. Again, pre-playing got a team to the playoffs. That team should have been in like 2012 the process Sixers conversations, and Russell Westbrook and his play and his leadership and everything that he did in that specific season, his scoring, his passing, his rebounding.
I don't think Russ sucks. I don't know why you're selling me on this. Like, Russ is it's an impressive season.
Yeah.
I think being able to win championships and contribute to championship basketball and be a person that you can imagine fitting around other stars and can imagine being a person that will
He
you.
had another star and they made the conference finals the year before, and then that star left and they still were able to make the playoffs.
And they blew a 3-1 lead. We've said this plenty of times, if you replace Russ with a more scalable point guard like Chris Paul, we always say, they probably would have won.
Is it not Kevin Durant's fault that like Kevin Durant also had bad performances in that? Like, it's not all on Russell Westbrook.
Okay, you make it make a wish.
but you
I'm
look-
not saying it's all on Russell Westbrook.
But you look at. But I'm saying Shea could go and have a decent series if Kevin Durant is on that team as well. And Kevin Durant is going 10 for 31s in Game 6 and not having great 5, 6, and 7 games, and they lose. Are you gonna look at Shea and be like, oh yeah, they lost because you needed a better point guard to carry over to carry over? You look at this roster. You look at this roster. Steven Adams, DJ Augustine,
What are you arguing for? I'm not saying it's not
Randy
impressive.
Foy,
What's your point?
Randy Foy?
Ennis, quote unquote, Freedom, Serge Ibaka, Mitch McGarry, Najee Muhammad, Anthony Morrow, Steve Novak, Cam Payne, Andre Roberson, Kyle Singler, Dion Waiters,
I can't even
and
troll
Russell
these
Westbrook.
days. I can't even troll Russ fans because it
You
becomes,
have that.
it becomes the
you
Bible
have-
coming out.
You have that roster with Billy Donovan as your coach. Not
Oh my
even
God.
like one of the premier coaches in
He's
the
a
NBA.
felon. I ain't going that far. Okay.
What do you know that I don't know?
Yeah. But yes, Russell Westbrook and that MVP is one of the most impressive MVPs, and he deserves it. And it's not crazy to say that in that season, what Russell Westbrook did is better than what Shea's doing this year.
Again, you keep trying to make it like an impressive level. Is he better at basketball? Do you think he
For
will,
that singular year?
You don't believe
yes.
that? You don't believe? So you think he's more conducive to winning championships
In
than
that
Shea?
specific year, yes. And I think that if you gave Russell Westbrook in that season the same situation or anything kind of similar, you can get some results. If you gave him another All-Star, let's see what happens.
I'm not going to bash J-Dub.
We're talking
Now that-
about-
that's a
let's see-
ridiculously
let's see what
dumb
happens.
argument, but I'm not going to bash J-Dub.
Let's see what
I'm
happens.
not going to bash J-Dub, but you're begging me to.
All I'm saying is
let's-
Russ is
let's
better
see what
for
happens.
the economy.
He was-
That's my
we
standing
were
point
calling
right
guys
here.
top 20, top 25 players in the league. He doesn't have a top 70 player on his roster. Still getting to
And
the
of
playoffs.
course, and I'm not holding him to that standard because he did a whole lot less. I didn't say he should be doing what Shea did as 1 seed. Now, could he? No, but I didn't bring that up. You did.
Being in a winning argument just helps everything better in arguments. I'll say that.
People like to pick and choose when floor matters, when ceiling matters.
Every single time I've said ceiling matters. Every single time.
When winning matters.
Every single time.
It's
Who has a better chance of
it's
winning a championship?
it's
You know
okay.
it's not Russ.
It's okay, right? And I'm not accusing you specifically of doing it, but I'm just saying as a general thing, right? If people want to go,
No, say him.
if
More
people,
static.
If people, all right, fine. If you would like to go and base the results off of like, oh yes, this number is bigger than that number. This number is better than that number. instead of saying, actually, we do this whole thing for winning and for elevating other people. Russell Westbrook did that.
I love Donovan, man. He's standing for shit that I won't stand for.
Facts. What a lovely way to not listen and just say what you want to say.
Nah,
Okay.
we just
Russ
hating
all
on,
day.
we just hating on Russ for no reason.
I love not listening. Last thing we're gonna do.
And that's the problem. That he
Let's
doesn't
go on,
listen.
boy.
I was cosplaying as you. That wasn't clear.
That's the issue.
If that wasn't clear, I was POV on Donovan. That's the issue. In case I need to break it down. Last thing we're gonna do. I'm gonna name an NBA team. I want you to tell me who their most fun player to watch in NBA history is. Who has the best highlight reels? Who's the most entertaining, and so forth.
This is going to be fun because it's not necessarily going to be the best player.
At all. It's straight up not. It's straight up entertainment value. Okay. First team, the Boston Celtics.
The Boston
It's easily
Celtics.
Larry Bird. Larry Bird
Really? Easily.
it's not close.
I guess a lot of the other stars aren't super flashy, so I guess that makes sense.
Like, yeah, it's not as close. Even KG, whenever KG was there, he's part of this other collective, and you don't get like the athletic peak of Kevin Garnett.
Okay. But
But Larry Bird is scoring 60 points with his offhand. He's faking people out. He's still running down the floor. He's not like the best like point guard, but he can give you those flashy passes from time to time. He's taking tough shots. Larry Bird is the guy.
Okay, I like that. I don't know if there's anyone else who can compete with Larry Bird in that. There's a seismic gap. After that, you could say, I guess, like early 2000s, like 2007, 8, or 7, 6, Paul Pierce.
Marcus Smart, respected DPOY.
Oh my God.
Nobody likes.
I love
we
switch
could say
defense.
2015 Isaiah Thomas
That is
when he was averaging like or 20. I don't know what year it was, but when he was averaging like 28. That definitely
That
gets us
single
up there as
season?
well. Yeah, for
I
sure.
don't know if I'd say over Larry Bird, but I think it's in the conversation.
It's not over Larry Bird, but in terms of like straight fun, I don't think we'll ever see that happening again. Like a 5'8" dude just averaging 28 points per game in this NBA. That's never happening again.
He lived out my dream for me. You know what I'm saying? Like he
he's
means something different.
Yeah, exactly. So
Also,
IT's up in there.
for one singular play, Kyrie Irving. For that one play against Steph where he like drops the ball, does a half spin and then turns.
yeah.
That singular play might be like a top 3 highlight in Boston Celtics history.
Okay.
San Antonio Spurs.
Ooh, Tim Duncan is very far away from this list. Very
Is
far
he?
away.
Kawhi's probably more fun to watch than like 2017.
Honestly,
Kawhi's probably more fun to
yeah.
watch.
What are we doing?
Because
Or David Robinson. I don't
moving.
know. I wasn't
This
around,
is-
but I bet he was fun.
This is David Robinson versus Manu Ginobili.
yes, Manu Ginobili's in this conversation.
How long until Wemby gets there? Like maybe current Wemby doesn't have enough of a bag, but like year 4 Wemby's probably gonna be his award.
Yeah, it's probably going to be Wemby, but as of now, today, I think I lean towards Manu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because not only do you have the Euro step move, you have the hair flowing back and everything. You have him falling on the ground, the theatrics of it all.
That
thought it
and
was
then
sexy.
eventually you have a bald head, which makes it fun because it's like, look at this baldy going crazy
And
still.
he
It's
moves
awesome.
effortlessly
Exactly.
in this era, bro. Like once he knew it was starting to go gone, like he just embraced it completely, shaved it all off, didn't try to go back whatsoever, bro.
Yeah.
And he evolved his game. He evolved his aura.
Shout out to Manu.
Shout out
And
Evolution Aura.
we have a highlight of Manu Ginobili at like 38, blocking James Harden in the playoffs too.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
Mana's a good answer. The Miami Heat. So
I mean-
naturally, you think of all the great players of all
Dwayne
time.
Wade.
Your brain probably goes to Tim Hardaway, maybe Shaq, maybe Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero.
Hell.
Listen, low key, the peak of Jimmy Butler. If you're going like a 3-minute highlight tape,
No.
Jimmy Butler could get there.
Bubble
No.
Jimmy is pretty insane.
You could get there for 3 minutes.
Give me
On a
1
highlight
minute
tape.
and 30 seconds of Dwayne Wade highlights, and we're picking him 100
Nah, we're
times
going
out of
2020,
100.
2013 LeBron. I mean,
Yeah. 20. Yeah.
I don't know.
The
Though.
I'm thinking about
explosiveness
this, like,
is just
longevity.
next
You're
level.
right. I mean, the highlights are more ridiculous than what D Wade.
yeah, and he has a benefit of playing next to D Wade versus like 2006 D Wade doesn't have that spectacle. 2013 LeBron is one of the most fun moments you could possibly imagine as a fan.
I don't
I don't
know. D Wade
know.
was flying all over the place. I mean, different types
Young
of
D
athleticism,
Wade?
but
2013 LeBron.
You're right. This is like,
What are we talking about?
he is a human version of a Decepticon. We can go ahead and put LeBron
It was a
there.
missile every time he touched the court.
Yeah, just like straight heat
Dwayne Wade
seekers
had
his
the
legs.
clip.
They brought out all black jerseys because they knew he needed the aura to match.
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade did a spin into a dunk over Kendrick Perkins and then cabbage patch. You know
That's
what
a
I'm
good
saying?
argument. That's a good argument.
You're
You know
right.
what I'm saying? That
LeBron-
specific one, that's crazy.
LeBron James did jump over an entire human being in John Lucas.
John Lucas the third. Respect.
Okay. Shout
That's
out John Lucas the second and the first. The Detroit Pistons.
Oh, this is sad.
It's not even sad.
Yeah, Josh Smith.
Oh, this is sad.
It's
could say
two answers. It's two answers.
Could it
Okay,
be
it's obviously
2018
Andre
Blake
Drummond,
Griffin?
and who's the other one?
Oh my
It's-
God.
It's clearly Isaiah Thomas. And then
true.
if you're into that, Bill Laimbeer.
Explain the Bill
That's a
Laimbeer
different
case.
type of fun.
What do you got to be into?
Do you like aggression? Like what do you mean? Like do you like fights?
Do you like UFC?
Bill Laimbeer.
There you go.
That's your guy.
Combat
that's
sports,
nice.
Bill Laimbeer.
If you into that, you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
If that's your thing.
Fisticuffs get you going.
And guess what?
Okay.
I'm into that.
No, Brandon Jennings. It's actually, I love it. Okay. The Utah Jazz.
They have so
Shout
many
out Darren
awards.
Williams, man.
That's probably the right answer, actually.
Yeah, you're right.
Shout out
Listen,
Darren
Prime
Williams.
Gordon Hayward? No.
Stop it.
Low key. Bubble Donovan Mitchell. When he was going to war with Jamal Murray.
yeah.
When he was shooting like 45% from three, dunking still.
going band for band with Jamal Murray.
He was dumb athletic, shooting the lights out.
Oh, yeah. I think it's
He had some heaters in the playoffs.
Does he have 6 minutes of a highlight tape?
Yes.
Probably 12. He was
Yes.
going crazy with Utah. It's got to be Donovan
Absolutely.
Mitchell.
Yeah, I think it's Donovan Mitchell.
You know, I'll go.
I'm not picking
I'll
the guys
go.
from the 90s.
I'll
Like,
go-
D.
I'll
Mitch
go
is
D. Mitch.
entertaining.
I'll go
Yeah.
D Mitch.
Yeah, I think it's D-Mitch. I forget he was a Utah Jazz.
Guy doesn't respect errors. It's crazy.
Yeah, not that one. Not that one of Utah
Not me.
basketball.
I'm good.
The Clippers.
Shout out Lamar Odom, man.
Okay. That's
Okay. Marlon's a
unanswered.
name.
Mm-hmm.
I think the two number one names for me have to be, of course, Blake Griffin. And then I'm also throwing Jamal Crawford.
It's got to be Lob City, right? That's probably the most entertainment factor they ever had.
Yeah.
I'm sure Bob McAdoo was a thrill to watch in the 1980s, but that might have to be Chris Paul and Blake Griffin.
Nah, I'm having Jamal Crawford and Blake Griffin for me.
The thing with
That
Jamal
one-
is that Jamal's highlight tapes, because he played on so many teams, it's always a cut up. Like I don't think you can have a singular team where Jamal Crawford's highlight tape feels complete. Like you have to go across eras, across teams to get all of his best moves. I think the peak of Blake Griffin and like 90% of his best stuff is with the Clippers.
That's true. But the crossovers, killer crossover Jamal Crawford. He won back-to-back Sixth Man of the Year awards. Blake Griffin ain't won no awards back-to-back.
Blake Griffin again. Blake Griffin dunked on Pau Gasol twice in one game.
Nice. He also fake jumped over a car. I'm leaning towards Jamal
That's
Crawford.
not in the game though. But I agree that dunk contest was rigged by Big Kia and Big Car. I don't
Big
like that.
Kia. Okay. The Los Angeles Clippers. Oh, I said that last time. The Los Angeles Lakers.
Oh man, this is.
I mean, what do you?
Where do you want to start at?
This actually is like this is the hardest one, obviously.
It is.
All their stars are amazing and kind of fun. Like
Yeah.
Shaq's fun in his own way.
There's three answers.
Kobe's fun to people
Yeah.
in their own way.
There's
LeBron's fun in his
Magic.
own way. Like,
You didn't even mention Magic yet.
is
That's
it
the-
Magic? It's
that's
probably
the-
Magic though, right?
It's Magic,
Magic or
Kobe,
Shaq?
Shaq.
I think.
Are the three.
I mean, for me, I like the dominance. Physical dominance is probably more fun, so I probably like Shaq more.
This guy's a full football player. That's what it is. That's what you like.
That's pretty fun. That's pretty sick.
That's what I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
If you're into that,
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, if we're adjusting for era, especially, Shaq was probably just divine intervention to sports fans back then. It probably felt like you were watching just a messiah.
Yeah, human version of Hulk just on the NBA court.
Yeah, just slithering around. The 1980s brain couldn't understand fun to the level in which Magic Johnson brought fun. It was
I don't know.
mind
I don't
molding.
know. Magic Johnson in turn is also like we've never seen 6'10" point guard.
I'm talking about Magic.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's hard. It's either Magic or Shaq, I think.
I like high flying Kobe. Though.
Actually, no. It has to be.
I like high flying.
Those
Kobe
1980s
personally.
brains, they weren't like, they hadn't seen the internet yet. They hadn't seen a lot. They've only seen like Golden Girls on TV and like local news. Magic Johnson was like, might as well have been like putting ecstasy in their brains.
Yeah, Magic Johnson just gives you a different feeling, bro. That's the level of awe that you just like predetermined about Magic Johnson. When you watch him play, you feel like you're not on this planet. You feel out of this world.
In the clouds.
Man, it's
Wow.
crazy. I'm gonna go with Shaq. I think seeing somebody that big, that fast, that strong, just dunk on everybody. That's also the epitome of like what you want to see when somebody's like 7 foot.
Yeah.
True.
So I'll go Shaq.
Okay. Can't hate that.
Who's next? The Rockets.
It's Hakeem Olajuwon.
Really? You don't
No,
appreciate
it's-
those James Harden
It's
days?
James Harden. In terms of fun, I mean, Hakeem's better. The two-way impact, shout out, rim protection,
I mean,
amazing.
if you into that. But
James Harden is one of the most fun players at his peak to watch. He was averaging 36, and we were like, yawn, it was 38 last month.
He had guys guarding him from behind because they couldn't figure out a good defense in front of him.
In 2018, if he averaged 32 for a week, it was damn, he's in a slump.
Yeah. That's crazy to think
It was-
about.
What the hell, man? Get it together. Get back to 38, idiot.
He literally broke basketball. We had to build in rules to try to nerf James Harden, and it didn't work. It's Harden.
you guys got it. I'm not gonna argue.
He wants to hate so bad.
Yeah, he can't. It's irrefutable. What you want to say, Jalen Green?
I'm not gonna argue with this.
Oh.
Yao Ming.
I mean, he had a stretch.
Oh my God. Steve Francis?
before the foot kicked in.
Okay.
Mm.
It's crazy.
The Washington Wizards.
Damn.
Shout out John Wall.
I'm probably going to pick gang sign John Wall.
I'm thinking Wes Unseld,
Good
the
God.
6'4" power forward, led the league in rebounds.
Good God.
All-star MVP, really lit up the 1970s. Washington Bullets.
Dude, Washington has a real issue. Like, they have no entertainment
I mean, they
up there.
had, Gilbert Arenas had some highlights. Shout out to Gilbert.
That is true. It might be Gilbert Arenas, actually.
No love for 30-point season Bradley Beal.
Man.
Fake ball. Fake ball. Yeah, no.
Russell
Brad-
Westbrook's highlights from that year were better.
Mm.
Russell Westbrook
That is true.
carrying another team to the playoffs.
Oh,
It's crazy. Just doing it.
Westbrook, man.
I love that lovely 2 months end of the season where he started going nuclear after being terrible the first 7 months of the year. That was an incredibly fun
See,
stretch.
because it's not about how you start; it's about how you finish. And them dudes got to the playoffs.
The birth of the Russell Westbrook calendar meme.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to Russ
Give
being
it to
productive
Russ.
when the team needed him to.
Shout out to Russ. The New York Knicks.
What? I mean,
You gonna say Carmelo?
obviously, if you don't like buckets,
Fun?
say that.
Is it really fun though?
It's
Is it more
buckets.
fun than Jalen Brunson in the playoffs last year when he was going crazy, averaging 40 as 6'2" guy? Nobody expected him to be able to carry a playoff offense, and he just can't be stopped.
He's flying around everywhere. Like he does it from the 3-point line,
I can't hit on that
mid-range,
either.
and also he's like throwing his shoulder into. I think I might lean towards Jalen
Again, I
Brunson.
can't. Fine, we'll go with Jalen. I can't.
And I don't know if he probably has a more fun factor than like Patrick Ewing.
Yeah, I'm going Jalen Brunson. How he does it is just insane.
Maybe at the time Walt Frazier was that guy and was super entertaining to watch. It's not going to be as fun for us as Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, Melo's not in. He's not.
You watch it.
I'm not gonna say he's not in these conversations, but he's just not surpassing Jalen Brunson.
First of all, not in these conversations is actually idiotic.
Yeah, I agree. He's not.
I mean, the talent pool.
I'm not
going to
say
the
he's
New York
not in
Knicks, so
this
he's in the
conversation.
conversation.
He has to be. He has
in
no
the way that
choice.
J.R. Smith's in the conversation, in the
Yeah,
way that
he-
Josh Hart's in the conversation.
Yeah, in the
Like,
way
people-
that like
you gotta
Ron
have somebody
Baker
around
and his
the edges.
canters in these
The way
conversations.
Josh Hart
bro.
has played,
I love
Josh
it.
Hart's
He might
highlights
be up there,
crazy.
actually.
Josh Hart, sneaky pick, man. Josh Hart just be flying from every angle of the
if
camera.
you told him that a basketball was loose behind this wall, he would dive into the goddamn
Yes.
wall. He's that type
Transition
of
Josh
crazy.
Hart is basically Giannis. Like, there's a fun
really is.
factor.
Yeah, exactly. 10 plus attributes everywhere for no reason.
Shout out to Josh Hart.
The Indiana Pacers.
It's Reggie,
Mm.
and I don't think it's close.
No, pre-injury Paul George.
Paul George was
when he was athletic.
nasty. Yo, yeah.
Fun factor. We're not saying he's
Yeah,
feel how
Paul
you
George.
feel about
That's
the level.
that's what helped me get into basketball. We cannot. Oh, it's Paul George, 100%. Bro.
Fun factor.
Yes.
Young Paul George
Do you
was a highlight.
You remember that dunk that he made on Chris Anderson? I
Hey,
think
Danny
it was like 2012
Granger.
or 2013.
Danny Granger was
Hell
dunking
no.
before Paul George took over.
Hell no. No, Danny Granger's not a part of these conversations. It's absolutely Paul
Jeff
George.
Teague had a moment.
What the?
Listen, in terms of just fun,
Paul George.
Lance Stevenson.
Ooh, you're onto something.
Lance
That's a
Stevenson,
different type of fun, though.
Okay, but it's fun.
Nevertheless, it's fun.
Lance Stevenson and his antics.
That's like idiot type fun, though. It's just like
I
we're
love
just
it.
trying
It's
shit.
still
We're
fun.
giggling.
I love idiot fun. I watch fucking Pineapple Express all the time.
I like to giggle when I have fun.
Yeah, we're just not in the same crowd. I like to have a cool ass hairline. I like to have like bounce in my game. I like to be smooth and
You like to
slithery.
miss game winners? Ball game.
Ball game.
I like to.
And then get made fun of it in your own locker room? That's crazy.
I'm talking about 2013, 2012 Paul George in this instance, and he takes the conversation for me.
If we're being real, watching Roy Hibbert just go straight
Oh hell
up.
no! Oh, hell no!
Verticality. I've been saying it.
Oh my god! He
Watch-
is,
Verticality.
Watching Roy Hibbert do that, honestly, legitimately breaking the league. The league learned what verticality was because of Roy Hibbert. He taught a whole generation of people how to play defense at the rim.
just
did.
put your hands up if you're
For
big.
that, listen, for that 3-week stretch where Roy Hibbert was like unimpeachable as a center,
Unimpeachable.
that was crazy.
I don't know. I didn't enjoy watching Roy Hibbert in the All-Star game. Like, what is he supposed to do?
I'm
Get
not
vertical, bitch. What are you talking about? You hear us?
He's not fun though. Like, how are you the most fun player when all you can do was just this and this in the All-Star game too?
We just got to get back to respecting the fundamentals. Like, youth coaches today clearly aren't doing a good job implementing just
my
like
boy LaSalle.
values in brains.
You know,
Need to go over there, help him out.
doing Paul George. It's Paul George.
No, it's not.
And that's the end of the list. And that's the end of the episode. If people are still here, what should they comment?
It's on you.
They don't respect Russ. Russ is for the economy.
Russ is for the economy. Go to comment that. And we'll see y'all next week.